Hi everyone. For some of you who know, and I know there was a bit drop that mentioned it. This coming Friday, I am going in for a surgery. I want to clarify everything before we jump into the game, so there's no confusion as to what's going on. So the surgery I'm getting is for something quite minor. It's not major surgery, but it is something I've been waiting for a year and a half now. The surgery is super simple. I'm not going to die. I should be okay unless they really botch up somehow. The unfortunate thing is that the surgery will actually take me out for 3 weeks. My recovery time is estimated between 2 weeks to 3 weeks of time. So my doctor recommended I book off 3 weeks off of my work from both the Unexpectables as well as my personal job here in town. So I just want to let you guys know that there will unfortunately not be the Unexpectables for the month of October, simply due to the fact that I will be unable to basically perform, do what I need to do, and present it. This is something that has to happen. I wish it didn't have to, but it's just health is a thing with the women's side of my family. That being said, in this delightful month of October, we have a certain someone coming in and doing something special, Connor.
Yes, indeed. For the month of October, I, Connor, your DM,
Oh,
will be taking you to the grim darkness of the far future in an all-orc Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader campaign.
let's go,
featuring
baby!
Takahata 101, Edward Bosco, Chris Zito, and Gaijin Goomba as the orcs. And myself as your benevolent chaos god.
Can I show the image now?
Hell yeah.
Go
Do
for
it. Show them the image.
Can you join them for it?
There you go, everybody.
Welcome
So even though you're not going to be getting Unexpectables for about a month, you will be getting Orktober in full.
So, when last we left our heroes, Task the Kobold Ranger, Panic the Tiefling Bard, Greckles the Kenku Rogue, Borky the Orc Barbarian, and Remy the Kenku Fighter, you guys experienced the middle crafting district. You met up with your good friend Brooke Bronzefang and Soliandrus. You spent some time in the High District, the first experience you've ever had. You met the Silver King disguised as a rabbit and learned a bit more about Solly's visions, as well as a few different things about the city. And now, as the winter grows, so too does the snow. The blowing, billowing winds bring forth blanket after blanket, as if pancakes slapped upon a plate of snowfalls that eventually swallows up the entire Alavastian city and the neighboring countryside, sort of trapping you only sort of indoors for a few months. But as the snow melts and as the days progress, you guys completed a few tasks that you wanted to finish, essentially. And of those tasks, we will go over them. So you guys had 3 months of downtime. But it was somewhat limited by the snowfall as well as accessibility to some businesses due to the snowfall. But now it begins to melt, so we will go over what we did. So, the first person I want to go over is, if I can find my notes, because I closed them because I was nervous. Greckles.
Oh,
We're going to start with you first, yeah? Because
Okay.
you're the simplest.
Oh.
So, I mean that in the kindest of ways.
You're also not wrong.
So, of
You
your
know what?
downtime, you wanted to study your scrolls, which you did. You did so diligently. The quiet of the snow and the cold definitely made you want to stay indoors for the next few months. And you did many a readings, many a studyings. You also wanted to get dinner with Remy at Bakaw's place, and the both of you do go, assuming Remy wants to go. I'm assuming you do.
Yeah, of course.
While there, Remy, you experience an authentic Eastern Isles experience. You eat delicious raw fish, all kinds of different food, and warm sake, a drink from the country that you've never actually had before. It's rather intriguing. You order together the aboleth sushi, which at first you think you'd actually get cut up aboleth, but in fact, bells and whistles go off. There's a whole tirade of fanfare as you guys are brought out a plate of the most elaborate octopus and squid sushi you've ever seen in your life.
Disappointed.
It's very huge. The plate is almost the size of like the table, and it takes you guys the part of a good day to finish a majority of it. You take the leftovers home.
Sweet.
Greckles, you send some letters to Solly as well, including many hearts for Brork.
Hell yeah.
Solly informs you that her visions are changing. Her dreams that she had, she's only getting 3 now. And of the 3 dreams, the 2 of them are the same. The place of darkness with a very faint, friendly light is the same, and the bottom of the drinking glass is the same. But the one that represented the sands is different. It's now showing the whirling winter sky, and you're not quite sure what that means, and she's a little confused. She asked you to maybe just keep your eyes out for some things and let her know what's going on if you happen to catch anything. Also, she asked if you could help him. Quarion might pop in and out of the tavern every once in a while on her behalf, and that would be an excellent way to communicate with her more privately. And Brooke replies with a note saying, "Can you please not?"
Brooke responds with, I prefer if you stopped.
In regards to the hearts, not the letters.
This is my woman. I mean,
Whoa. Whoa.
Ooh.
Alrighty. Now, on to who's next? We'll go with you, Remy. We'll go with you next.
Okay, notes
Next
time.
So,
Sorry, Austin.
as you spend time with Willow, she is very nervous. She is extremely nervous about you, and you get that sense from her that it's not that she's scared of you, or not that she's like she's worried you're going to kill her or something like that. You see a lot of shame to her, and at this point you can see it kind of piling up. She does confess to you that now that people know who she is, the guilt like that she's kind of been like keeping inside of her and like kind of hiding has been really, really hard to deal with, because now she's stressed out about how people like you and how the rest of her friends and the Unexpectables now view her. So she's been kind of sad about that for the past few months.
Remy would make it very clear to her that as long as she is looking to rectify what she did, then she has the opportunity to write a new history. She can't change the past, though.
Okay. You do help her with some of her work. Specifically, she uses you as a guinea pig to test out a cantrip called Catapult, which is a spell that moves objects. She wants to ensure that she does not actually smash people with the objects using the spell, since this is an undiscovered spell. She manages to perfect the spell, and she actually gives you a scroll of it. So you have 1 scroll of Catapult, which is a new discovered spell in Alabama.
Hang on a second.
I just hear "throw baby," like just typing that out loud.
Don't throw the baby.
All right. I need you, Bosco, to roll an investigation for me.
Oh, great.
Investigation roll.
Yeah, this will be excellent, I'm sure. Not 1.
Natural 1.
Here we go.
Great.
Alrighty. As you try to dig up dirt on Bronze Fang, you get denied at every single turn.
Of course I do.
Yeah. You are not permitted entry into a bunch of places. A lot of the people you talk to are like, we can't talk about that. But you do find one person who is
God.
willing to talk to you. But because you had a natural 1, I need you to roll a charisma check for me.
Oh, okay. Let's have the
Nat 1, Nat 1, Nat 1.
4.
4.
On that too.
Oh
no, it's a nat 3. Sorry.
It's 4. You run into a Kenku messenger. You know her. Her name is Robin. She's a Robin Kenku.
Okay.
She is Brooke's personal messenger.
Okay.
And as you run into her, she's kind of flustered and very like, oh, I gotta go over here. I gotta go over there. She's kind of running all over the place. You manage to stop her and you try to talk to her and ask her questions. But at first she's like kind of wants to tell you and you're not sure why. But then she's like, oh, no, I can't tell you. I'm sorry. And she kind of runs off. So you sadly don't get any information out of that one.
Roll 20. Roll 20. We're going to, oh man.
This is why I kept it simple.
Beyond that, Remy, you've received letters from Avery. She says that Vola's doing fantastic.
Okay.
Frickin' I forgot his name.
Who?
Gregory?
Oh, Gregory.
Gregory. Wow. Gregory, his hair has grown back. Very
Oh,
happy.
good. Okay.
Winter's still gone.
Ooh, that's not good.
Yeah, she says it's probably the longest she's been gone for, but
Yeah, no, that lines up.
yeah, so but Avery thinks it's just from the weather. She probably just isn't heading back because of the snow, so hopefully she hears from Winter in a while.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what you hear. That brings us to we'll go to Task next.
Hi.
So Task, you had 3 kind of small things you wanted to do. One of the things you wanted to do is you want to learn about the white kobolds of the north. Finding information on that was actually kind of tricky. You went to libraries, you went to various different places, but it wasn't until a group of Northlanders came into the tavern one night, drinking and basically playing bone dice, that you kind of moseyed your way into their little group, and they they offered you tankard upon tankard of ale, which you drank as much as you could. And they actually told you a lot about the white kobolds. Now, the white kobolds tend to be masters of illusion magic as well as different types of teleportation magic. It's kind of their strong suit. Because they're so small and they can't really make the tunnel systems that a lot of other kobolds can make, but they're very, very good at that. You're also able to discern, based on what they say, that Winter getting to Alavas was probably not by natural travel. It was probably related to the teleportation. You think that would explain potentially how she made it this far, and also perhaps why she doesn't remember too much or why she doesn't talk. But that's just a theory based off of what you've ascertained from the Northlanders, who, by the way, adored your company. They thought you were the best shit ever. They were
guess
drunk
what?
and happy.
Guess what? I got bone dice too.
Hell yeah, you do. Do you want to roll the bone dice?
Fuck yeah. I haven't had a chance to use these things in quite some time.
Roll them literal bones.
Let's do it. Rolling bone.
Okay. 21, not bad.
21.
Oof. These guys. No, they lose their pool. So you actually earn 40 gold from these Northlanders too.
Dang.
Nice.
Yeah. So you get some gold from them. They're a little bitter about that, but then you kind of you get them some free drinks, and they're like, all right, you're okay, I guess. Whatever. There's a moment of but then you pacify.
I paid your. Don't worry. It's fine. I gave you double the drinks.
You started training Tarisk, who's grown up a little bit. He's still chunky. He's still got the baby fat. He's now mastered walking, except for the way in which he walks now is a lot like slapping his feet around. It's very dopey and sort of toddler-like. He is stubborn now. He is not listening clearly. He is very much his own dragon now in his own way.
Fucking Charmander.
Poor Ty Borpington, every time he goes into his kitchen, it's like a battle to get Tarisk out of the kitchen. He is very food motivated.
Okay, out of character, I know why this is happening, but would Task have an advantage on knowledge rolls to tell what he's going through because it's part of the past?
Sure, yeah, you can do knowledge or Kana.
Would you say that Tarisk is walking
I'll give you
around...
advantage too.
Would you say Tarisk is walking around like he has a little booties on and doesn't like them?
It's more like a bulldog kind of stumbling around a bit, that slap, slap, slap. 20, okay. Tarisk is growing fast, so he's trying to eat a lot. He's got a huge appetite. His sense of personality hasn't changed too much. He's definitely more free. You can even tell he's more free. And he's kind of enacting that freedom out, and he's very much his own person. You can't command him anymore. So it takes a bit of a sterner hand to kind of keep him in check. He's still devoted to you though. That's the one thing. That has not changed.
I don't want to. I'm not treating him as an asset. I'm treating him as a partner in this case.
Mm-hmm. He's no longer a slave in that sense to that whistle anymore.
Yeah.
He's now a living thing.
Because like I said, I know out of meta, blue dragons. Oh, I know their personality, and if he's acting this way, oh god, the future.
Poor Ty Borpington though, you'll watch Tarisk waddle off, and then you'll hear screams from the kitchen, and poor Ty Borpington is being clawed at like a cat, and he's just oh, help me, as he's trying to cook something, specifically bread and pastries. Some habits die hard. And then you asked Magister to assist you with some fire control. Magister is tickled pink by this. He's actually kind of bashful about it. He's like, oh me, oh my. he does assist you with the control of fire, specifically since he is kind of a focus on the evocation magic as a whole. He teaches you some skills to kind of harness it, but in regards to the specific sort of skill that you want, he says finding an arcane rune of that specific like type of magic you want to do, specifically the type of spell you want to do, that will be key in learning that spell. Like he could teach you how to control flame, and you do kind of master a few things, but without the proper spell components and the actual spell itself, there's not much to be done from there. He does also trigger his wild magic.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
So he
No,
turns
I-
blue for a while, but it's fine. It goes away eventually.
I was about to say, are you rolling on the D10,000 table?
No,
Good.
I don't want everyone to die.
Thank you.
Everyone
Yeah, see?
becomes clowns. Interesting.
Yeah, so your Magister turns blue for a bit, and he laughs it off, and then you guys kind of finish up with that. Borky
If
will go-
Naragan wants to get in on this, we can have a Cold Bloods only club.
Naragan is honestly been babying Tarisk a lot. Like he loves Tarisk now. He's actually been helping you a little bit, but he also is kind of nocturnal, so he's not around as much as you'd like him to be. But he's also been kind of busy because winter months tend to be kind of the month of Illinois because of the clouds and of nights being colder and that sort of thing. So he's been a little bit busy. But he definitely would want to be part of your Dragons Club. He's like very humbled by that. He's like,
No
"Oh,
warm bloods allowed.
Yeah, no. Get all fleshies, get out.
Fleshies, get out. Get out of here.
That's racist.
That is
Hey, Greckles, can't you read the sign? It's in Draconic.
Alrighty. Borky.
Yeah. Yay.
For the entire winter month, you helped Ty pickle a ton of vegetables
It's
as well
true.
as salt a bunch of barrels of meat.
Absolutely.
That was what you guys ate for like the following months is various pickled vegetables.
Call me
and
pickle.
various-
Call me Mr. Pickle Borky.
As well as you wanted to give Scarbles a bath.
She smells like shit.
I need you to make a dexterity saving throw for me.
saving
Saving throw.
a saving throw.
Yes.
Saving. I'm trying to vamp here because I accidentally closed my character sheet.
Ooh.
All right, here we go. A dexterity saving throw. Yeet. And that is
Save.
16.
Nope, you fail. If you can believe it. So as you manage to set up a box with string and
Yeah.
capture Scarbles under like a laundry basket.
Got it.
As you are tying her to the rope to which you wish to fish her into the bath, you get a nasty scratch across your face from her as she's just like going full Wolverine, like flailing around and screaming. So you do get a bit of a nick to the face, but you do manage to, using this sort of fishing pole contraption, dunk her over and over again into the bath water with some soap.
More
and then
soap.
back over. It takes a while. You realize she's not as green as she actually appears.
Oh.
And that a lot of her clothes were not actually brown. So you learn some things. And she smells 1,000 times better, but now she's very leery of your presence, as well as laundry basket.
It's true.
I would like you to roll one more thing for me, Borky. I want you to roll a investigation check for me.
Excellent. My dump stat.
Good luck.
That's just
Brain blast.
That's a 15.
That's a 15. You've been having a weird feeling, not a bad feeling, but a strange feeling. Every once in a while, you feel like you're kind of like you're being watched, but you're not, like, you don't see anyone there. You'll be completely alone, but you do feel like there's a presence there, and you're not sure what it is. You've had log check, you've had other various people check, and there's nothing there. You're not sick, nothing's wrong. It's not like the Somalisk, but something's off, and you're not sure exactly what, but you've chosen to ignore it, and nothing's happened, so you've been completely fine.
Okay.
Panic, you are the last one here. I wanted to end with you because Willow got a natural 20 to make you something.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah. So Willow, she worked with the objects, and she managed to make you a trinket of continual flame out of the Hellhound core. So that is now in your possession. She 100% succeeded on that. It is basically a lighter. It basically acts as a lighter. You can use it. You can cast continual flame out of it. It's very handy that way.
Nice.
A
While-
trinket of continual flame, you said?
Yeah, it's a trinket of continually. I call it a hellhound blaze or something like that. You can give it a cool name if you want.
And what does the spell continual flame do?
It's literally like a match. It's like you just make a fire, like just make a little bit of a flame, so you can light things on fire, like camps and things like that.
Arson.
It's basically if you want to use it, just look up continual flame, and then we can just go from there.
Okay.
You also panic, given your charismatic sort of personality. You learn more about Alice, who, as you guys remember, is the new server you're hired, actually. She's been very quiet and to herself, but as the winter months proceeded, and with a lot of pushing from Skinny, she's kind of opened up a lot more, and she kind of talks a bit more about her circumstances, and she actually talks to all of you about it. She was present when the dragons attacked the village up to the north. She was in a field at the time when the attack came, so she managed to flee. She managed to get out before they kind of encircled the village. While fleeing, she fell into a bear trap that was laid out by the Ironclaw clan, the orc clan there, and was taken in by the orcs for a while. She remembers healing there for a while, and it was like kind of a very strange blur almost experience. And then she talks in some detail about how the orc, I forgot his name now. I'm so sorry. I should have noted it down. Ogram, I think his name was. The orc who was there during her review, her application, how he got her to you guys. She'd like to go back to work on a farm if she can. She's a little confused. She does want to stay until she knows what she wants to do. But she seems very displaced, if I were to put her. She's very nice. She's a very nice girl. She's very open. She's very like hard worker. And she does appreciate the job, but she's kind of just like got a lot on her mind. Like she's just trying to figure out what she actually wants to do. Cause like she confesses that this is not where she wants to stay. If she can help it, she does want to try and go back to her normal if she can. But obviously there's a lot of things in the way of that. So, but you get to know her a little bit, and all of you kind of, she's a very normal human person. Like if that were such a strange sentence, but she's just a very normal human that you've met, probably the most normal.
Human.
Panic, the last thing for you, is you wanted to learn more about Livracia and Omni Ma, I'm assuming as a result of that.
Yeah.
You go to a Livracian temple, and the moment you mention kind of your intentions, a lot of like the people there want to shoo you out, and they do. They kind of ask you to leave. But as you leave, one of the young performers at the temple actually follows you, and she gives you a book that she's been holding on to. She figured it would be very important for you. You learn about Omni Ma through this book, or at the very least, the story about how Omni Ma came to be. And it actually is quite interesting how Omni Ma came to be. Because I'm going to have you roll a charisma check for me really fast.
Okay. Just a regular charisma check?
Just a regular charisma check.
Please be kind.
16.
16.
Okay, good. Yeah, she gives you the whole book. She gives you all the information. She tells you what page to go to, so you don't have to waste your time with any other pages. There is a chapter specifically designated about Omni Ma. It talks about the curses that can beset a person if they invoke Omni Ma. It said that if you speak his name in a theater or a stage, the strings on instruments will break. If you say his name too often, your voice will disappear. There's a bunch of superstitions surrounding Omni Ma. The truth about Omni Ma is that back along, like really ancient times, like we're talking eons, Omni Ma was once a celestial of Livracia. He was a completely normal celestial. He basically was like Livracia's great champion, like a very important figurehead. At some point in the histories, the god of madness, named Osterix, attempted to take away the domain of music from Livracia. And in order to protect Livracia, the celestial that was once before Omni Ma basically self-sacrificed in order to save Livracia. Heartbroken, Livracia couldn't find it in herself to either cast Omni Ma to the god of madness or she herself destroy him. So she cast him to his own dimension, which would be the dimension of discord, and kept him there. The legends say that as more time progresses, the more corrupted Omni Ma becomes. But through Omni Ma came something interesting. Omni Ma supposedly was the perfection of music, and with Omni Ma now cast away, there is no such thing. And in its stead came something different, which you would understand as you're reading this book is the minor key in music. Omni Ma is the caveat for the minor key in all music.
That's the most metal key.
That's nuts.
It's a heavy read, but you manage to make your way through it, and that is what you discover. There are no pictures, there's no details beyond just simple matter of fact, and it's definitely written from the perspective of someone who more obviously worships Livracia more so than actual Omni Ma. And you can even see the hesitation in the speaking of Omni Ma for someone who's, pretty dedicated to the faith. It's bad news. Like, they exist, but they are not someone you want to meet or invoke or do anything of that sort of thing. For a musician especially, it's such a massive risk. You could just completely be unable to do music whatsoever. So that is what you learn.
Fuck.
All right. And, Greckles, there was one more thing I forgot about. I didn't note it down. One night, you enjoy some drinks, and with Helga, actually, as she's serving drinks. You have a nice talk with her. You bring up the Somalisk again, how the Somalisk actually preyed upon her and Willow, which you found sort of puzzling and surprising. Oh, right. I completely forgot about that, Kurt. I'm so sorry. That
No,
was
no
a
worries. I just
secondary
wondered.
note. It wasn't part of your main thing you sent me.
Sorry.
As you spent time with Helga, you kind of asked her about like what she might be super guilty about.
Mhm.
And Helga basically says to you, the one thing about having many children is you lose many children too. And she doesn't speak any more to that. That is all you get from her.
Oof.
Borky, one of the other things I completely forgot about is you went out and you sought out Taylor. Taylor helped you find, helped you look for tubs.
Yeah.
You didn't find tubs.
Why?
But Taylor secretly bummed out in your guys' building for the 3 months. Taylor actually was like sleeping there in Louis Strugg's room. So you had a little extra house guest for a bit. They appreciated it because it was cold outside. But the Louis Dog's room is now completely covered head to toe in pigeon feathers. So
Great.
someone's going to have to clean that out.
Gross.
But as the winter cold melts and the snow drips away, you guys all get into your best attire and you make your way to a temple of Livracia for a delightful and formal wedding of Einford, one of the city guards' sister's wedding. And as you guys approach, all 5 of you, you make your way up and you see various crowds of elves and other forms you don't quite recognize kind of gathering around the church. The temple, I mean.
Okay, so now you said Einford's sister's wedding?
It's Einford's sister's wedding, yes.
Why were we invited? Okay.
Because of
Do you not
Greckle.
remember?
No, I have no idea.
No.
So whose wedding we going to again, guys?
It's Einford's wedding. Do you not remember when you guys were locked up after the whole debacle with the cart and the Orin clerics and the chase?
Refresh my memory. What happened?
You showed them your dick.
I did not.
We both showed them our dick.
Right. I
okay.
remember I remember Panics distinctly.
Yeah.
Hey,
they do.
Monty.
Mm-hmm.
How would, since Remy was at his family's for most of the winter, how would he have been invited, or did he just get invited with
You
the
went with
Unexpectables?
Doros.
Oh,
went with
cool.
Doros. Yeah, you're going with Doros.
Sweet. Oh, good, my training buddy.
Yeah.
Has that effect.
He's been kind of, you two are both the currently under review fellows right now, you and Doros, Remy. So
Sweet.
you guys actually have been hanging out a little bit. He's
I
a
assume we
very
would have trained together.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's scary to train with, though.
Yep.
But he's good training for fighting giants because he
Yep.
himself is like 8 feet tall.
Yep.
But and also in regard to Willow, you do actually forward her the information, but she said she wants to be the one to pursue that if she's able to.
Okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, you've been spending some time with Doros. He does not talk at all. He's very shy and he's very to the point. But as you guys kind of prepare and make your way, you do run into the Unexpectables on your way there. And so all of you, including Doros, are all kind of there at the moment.
I want to say out of character, if anything happens, such as sky pirates, it is entirely my fault, and I will accept that responsibility.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I think we're all on lookout at this point.
wait, what? Hang
Okay,
on.
let me explain because this happened a very long time ago. So after the giant debacle with the Oran clergy looking for Sully way back when, everyone except Greckles got into a scrap and ended up in a chase. Greckles, being the good rogue that he is, went to the authorities and was not arrested. Although we had that talk with Bork. During that time, when everyone was in their holding cells and Greckles was just sitting there doing paperwork, he just... how many... Was it just one nat 20? He was basically trying to butter up the guard.
Yeah,
And
he got
that-
a lot of nat 20s and high rolls, I believe.
And yeah, did a lot of nat 20s, So basically what happened is there was like this minor party that happened. That's how we got in good with the cops. And we ended up getting invited to Einford's sister's wedding, which was, God, it feels like a long time ago now.
It was a long time ago, yeah.
And there you go.
But like,
Okay.
why, Greckles?
I mean, I didn't know that it was actually going to happen, but we can't
Did
back
they
out now.
Did they seem in love? I don't I think I've ever met.
Borky, I don't know.
I've
I don't even know if I've ever met her.
just never met Einford either.
Borky, I believe you should see this as panic. What did you call it? A PR stunt?
Yeah, something along the lines of that.
That's actually a good way to put it.
Doros nods.
Regardless, we have a long history with the enforcers around here, with a big heavy breath, and it's only good that we just fulfill what we said we were gonna do.
Okay. So now,
So-
do we have to behave ourselves?
Yes.
Yes.
Borky.
Okay, SWAT.
Doros nods and gives you the sternest glance, Borky.
I will try my very best.
Keep your tie on, okay?
Is Borky wearing a tie?
What are you guys wearing? I want you guys to specify what you guys would wear in a formal wedding circumstance.
Borky has a. He's just wearing he has 2 wolf pelts draped over his shoulders. He's wearing his regular boots, and he has a necktie, I guess,
Okay.
like Donkey Kong.
Nice.
I am. Task is wearing, pretty much his cloak-like jacket over his high militaristic-looking attire from like way back before the end of season 1.
Okay.
So it's high fancy, like I'm going to someone's like funeral kind, like who served in the military kind of attire.
Greckles, not having formal attire, would probably just wear whatever gear he could walk in the front gate with, but disguise self in order to, I don't know, is this black collar?
It's kind of black art. You would have time to go get clothes if you wanted to go get a pair of clothes.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. He'd
It's called a kimono.
Oh,
would he be able to have had one elaborately made during
Yes.
the winter?
He would
Okay.
have. Robin and Baka would hook you up. They would know someone.
Oh, so is it brand new or kind of hand me down?
It's brand new, but it's not. It was made in Alavast, so it was made by someone who's not a professional, as you'd find on the Eastern Isles. It was one of Robin's like sisters. She made it, and
Oh,
it's
okay.
it's very nice. They did ask you to pay for it though.
Right, how much?
It was 200 gold, but they said don't worry about it. You can pay them back slowly over time. It's fine.
I would just give them the gold then.
Hey,
Yeah.
Monty, real quick, is
Mhm.
Tarisk with us?
He is. He's wearing a bow tie.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, all of the art.
Good. He's with. Fine. I will accept this. I'm giving him his jacket, and whoever slaps a bow tie on him, whatever, fine.
You are asked to have him leashed though, just inside of the actual temple.
Are you training? Is Task training Tarisk with a choke chain, or has he got one of those body harness things that he just keeps pulling against?
It's just a normal leash. It's actually as a rule for familiars and any sort of bestial companions to be leashed or at least collared while being inside of the temple. Simply just to.
Oh, dude, we're gonna make this metal. He's got a fucking spike collar. Let's do this shit.
Hell yeah, sure. And there's a bow tie on top of it too.
Are we allowed any personal defense weapon?
Yes, you are allowed your weapons.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, you guys have your stuff.
I guess that would be my guitar.
What are you, Double J?
You're
Sweet.
Panic, what are you wearing?
Toss never drew a dime.
Panic is wearing a black suit with a wine red vest and a black undershirt.
Ooh.
Do you have a cravat?
He's wearing. Sure. Let's go with the cravat.
Yeah, I love cravats. Sorry. Come on, you got to channel Edgeworth a little bit.
Oh my god.
Objection, I suppose. Wait, no, not at the wedding. I forget.
Remy, what are you wearing?
He would have on something very similar to what he was wearing at the ball. Long, flowing purple cape, sword on his hip, formal dress wear head to toe, very fancy looking boots, and a sigil on the front. Holding the cape is his family sigil, but then there's one on the front of his chest that none of you have ever seen before.
Can I do a retroactive thing just for description's sake, since we didn't get to drop anything? Greco's, if possible to commission, would be it's a 3-layered kimono. The bottom one is that pure white, that kind of that placeholder kind of underwear. Mm-hmm. On top of that, similar to how his feathers roll, going from very, very dark to really, really sort of a light rich blue, going all the way down. On the an overcoat on top of that's a bit more regal, and on the left and right sections of the chest, where typically the Monar are the Sweet Dragon logos.
Nice.
Fuck yeah. Nice.
I mean, we don't have that's the closest thing to a crest this poor boy has.
Doros is wearing a doublet with poofy shoulder sleeves and the poofy neck thing, and very, very nice dress pants.
I want to see that.
He looks ridiculous, but he does look dressed up, but he looks very ridiculous. And as you guys kind of stand there, I want everybody to roll perception checks.
Can do. That's me best stat. Let
Good.
me roll a 1.
I'm sure this won't end badly, even though I have advantage. 10! Let's go! Roll 20!
23.
Nice.
That is a 12.
Okay, as you guys are all kind of talking around, Greckles, you notice that there's a lot of gnolls here.
Oh.
Like, a lot of gnolls.
Oh.
And you just kind of, you're like piecing it together. Einford's sister is getting married to a gnoll.
What's wrong with that?
No, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm curious as to which gnoll is it?
You do see amongst the gnolls, the biggest gnoll out of all of them is a gnoll that you recognize from the sledding competition. Was Zerth. She's the representative of the Ripjaw clan. She's the leader of the Ripjaw clan. She's currently kind of laughing her hyena laugh amongst the other gnolls as they kind of make their way inside of the temple. You see Tass, you recognize this person, Lunurth, who's the younger gnoll from the Girls' Academy, currently wearing not her usual school outfit, but actual like fur armor. She's looking like she's ready to go to battle at the moment, but she's kind of like talking. She's definitely close to Zerth. You get the assumption that maybe they're related.
Oh, that's awesome. Like, does she notice us?
No, they're all kind of talking amongst themselves. You hear them talking in this really like deep guttural language. It almost like barks and yelps and almost like snarling and growling. You get the sense that is Gnoll, the language of gnolls.
I mean, I guess if it'll be like, as long as it's like socially allowed, I can like walk up and just ask her how her practices are at school.
Okay, you kind of waltz on up, and a few of the gnolls kind of like go in. They see you kind of approaching, and they're like, "Oh, we should go inside." They head in. You say Zerth there. She's massive. Zerth is about probably 7 feet tall. She's a big lady. And she's even kind of hunched over too. She's got tons of battle scars. Her jaw, like there's a line going down from one lip down. There's like this giant gash. Looks like some sort of like slashing mark. She looks like she has seen hell. And as you walk up, Lerneth kind of turns. He goes, "Oh, it's you."
Yes, it is me. Just came by to see how your studies have been after everything that's been going on.
Studies are good. I've gotten stronger, so much stronger. And like the other Knoll just kind of nods, like proudly, like hell yeah. And Luna kind of goes, "No school though for now. Snow made it stop, but it's good for endurance training. Not good for colds though."
Well, I hope. I hope your health is very. I hope your health is very well, and I actually would like to hear any more feats of strength that you've gained over the course of your studies.
I rolled a snowball as big as my mother, and she kind of jabs her head to Zerth, who just kind of nods. It's like, "It's good for the upper muscles. We have to go inside. The marriage is." Oh yeah.
I kind of like tap her on the shoulder though, and I whisper into her how to sneak a rock into the ball.
Okay, roll a stealth check, I'd say, for this.
26.
Very high. No, Mumsy does not hear that at all. She goes, "This strategy is intelligent. I can't possibly lose."
I pat her on the shoulder. Go get him.
Her and Zerth enter the temple, and as she does, the rest of you guys see Einford approach. He's wearing a very nice outfit, and he kind of walks over and he goes, "Hi, boss." And Doros looks down and is like, He's like, "Oh, hey, you guys made it. That's great.
Yeah, well, we did promise we'd come.
That's great. You might be part of the entertainment for tonight, so I'm really excited."
Hey,
I look over at Greckles.
Greckle shrugs. Greckle shrugs right now.
And I look at him and I just go, "No, not shrug," and I shrug.
Borky
What does
pushes.
this mean?
Borky pushes Greckles out of the way. "Hi there, Borky the Orc. Never met you before."
We've met like 3 times.
Good job, Borky. Thanks for being rude.
I just want to be nice and introduce myself.
You're Borky the Orc. You have 1 registered arrest, but has been striked off the record due to good performance. I know. I filed the paperwork.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is
Anyway.
this? What is this entertainment you're speaking of?
Well, he knows how to juggle, so I want him to juggle. You can do that, right?
Well, of course I can.
Okay, cool. That's awesome. Yeah, my sister's getting married. It's very exciting. I don't know if you met her. I guess you met the husband's family, so that's good. But my family's inside, so if you guys want to go inside, we can start the wedding.
Very well. I'll observe a human wedding. I've never seen one before, so this might be enlightening.
It's
Well, not
actually
exactly human.
Yeah, we're elves actually. I'm a half elf. My sister's a full elf.
Humanoid.
Oh.
I apologize. I actually slipped up. Humanoid.
Oh, well, it's going to be a Livrosia Knoll wedding, so it's got some hybridity to it. It'll be interesting to see.
Borky just
Yes?
whispers to Panic, "This is weird, right?"
Yeah, it's weird for me for reasons I don't know what to say.
"Why not?"
I don't know what to say.
Interesting.
Let's just make our way in and be polite, be nice.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. Thanks for coming, boss. Doros just kind of nods. He looks very uncomfortable right now. He's just like, "What the hell is happening?"
Can I do a perception check to see how well guarded this all is?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
The entire
Any particular
wall.
reason why?
Because
Everyone-
last time this happened, there were sky pirates.
Ah,
That's a nat
Natural
1.
one.
Never mind.
Eh,
Well,
you know, you have no idea.
it looks like
Fires
there's
the
people
juggler.
doing things.
I mean, there's lots of Knolls, so I'm shrugging. I don't know what to tell you.
The entire one side of the church is nothing but great swords and battle axes.
Oh,
That's security enough. God, I
Alrighty.
can't. Someone needs to come in and say I object and just watch the death.
Just pulp on the ground. All right, you guys go up the temple steps. This is a very quaint temple. This is in the lower clergy district. Definitely not as fancy as the high districts, but it's very quaint. It's very cute. And as you guys enter, you see basically like a ton of gnolls. And as you enter, Einford kind of turns and goes, "This is basically like every gnoll in Alavast, I think. Like most of them, actually.
Wait, are they all related?
Yeah, they're all from the same like clan. They're from Tricadia.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are there multiple clans within Elevast, or is it just all this one?
It's just this one, and there was the native one, but they're gone now, so we don't have to worry about them.
What
They
happened
weren't
to them?
very. Oh, they were not very good. They tortured and murdered, and they're very bad. They were led by, I don't know, we're not supposed to talk about it, but they were led by some sort of like evil demon god thing, and apparently if you say his name or something, like
Oh, that's neat.
oh, yeah.
Can I insight panic?
No, you can actually roll a knowledge religion actually for this one.
Okay.
Cool.
That's a 17.
Immediately when you talk about it, and from the stuff you've heard from other people, you know that Stilhavity actually had some influences on one of the Gnoll clans here. That's basically who they got destroyed. Like who got destroyed was the ones that were worshipping Stilhavity.
Gotcha.
So that seems to be who they're referencing. But obviously Einford can't say anything because no one wants people to know about Stilhavity. So it's kind of all hush-hush secret for the most part.
Right.
So, yeah. Anyway, it's like these guys are great though. Like they allied themselves with the Avon clergy during the Great Vampire Crisis. So we're really close.
What the hell's a vampire?
Oh, it's like this human, but like it can be anything, and it like sucks your blood and can like.
I would know this, right?
You would know this, yeah.
They're blood-sucking undead. They can't stand the light.
Huh.
Oh, so they're like Jiangxi. Got it.
What?
What?
I'm sorry, that was a joke from earlier today.
Yeah, you would know Panic. The vampires in Tricadia. One of the nice things about Tricadia is there's this giant, massive mountain range that kind of splits northern and southern Tricadia. It is chock full of different sites and various things. But at one point, a whole coven of vampires took over multiple mountains and started spreading like wildfire. They became so huge. You do recall from history that Gnoll tribes were kicked out, and that it makes sense though from what you've heard that like a lot of the Gnolls occupied the mountains. It makes a lot of sense for them to end up allying with people to fight off the vampires. For them to stick around though, that's rather interesting. So as you guys enter into the temple, there are the two sides of the temple. There's one side and the other. Currently, all the Gnolls occupy one side. You see amongst them Zerth, you see Lunarth, and you also see Zarv. Zarv is currently there, wearing his hat is straightened. His hair looks like it's been properly brushed. It's not as matted, and he is wearing a shirt. For him is a nice thing, and he's just kind of sitting tapping his knee a bit. He seems to be kind of like completely surrounded and talking to people, so he's kind of busy at the moment. Then you see Einford's family. They all look like Einford. Every single elf in the other side of this temple looks like different variants of Einford. They all have the same expression, the same eyes. And they just like Grandma Einford, Baby Einford. It's almost
1930s Einford.
So are you saying that their entire family are a series of this is like the Alvast equivalent? Like, are you saying that they are the Alavast equivalent of Officer Jenny or Nurse Joy? Is that what you're?
Yes.
Oh man,
God.
They're the multiverse family. I love this.
Thank you,
Wacky
chat.
Uncle Travis Einford.
Oh no! Oh no! It's troubled past Einford. It just has a scar over one eye.
And they're all sitting like completely still, properly facing forward, while the Gnolls are all like fighting each other and like yipping and yelping and barking. It's very strange. And Doros is getting visibly more and more sweaty. He's just like,
So this is Up.
This is Up?
No, the movie.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Come on, guys.
Sorry.
Well, it was,
So-
look,
Sorry, I
It's
didn't want to.
okay,
I
Kaiju, got it.
it's okay. I didn't want to think and cry. So you know.
Oh,
yeah, that's
I'm
fair.
sorry.
So you guys walk over. You guys get a seat right in the back of the wedding, and you guys are stand out because you are not elves. You do not all look the same. You all 6 of you, and plus your +1 with Tarisk.
Guy
all
towing
look-
around a fucking blue dragon.
There are some of the gnolls actually have some pets too. One of them has like a giant gecko kind of latched around their shoulder.
Oh, is
Another
that a
one,
New Vegas gecko? The
kind
ones that
of.
stand upward?
No,
Aw, damn it.
it's kind of like a. It almost looks like a crested gecko, except for it's just huge. It's absolutely massive.
Nice.
And it's kind of gray. And then another gnoll has this giant like vulture albatross on its shoulder at the moment. And they have like a crossbow, a massive crossbow slung to their shoulder, and like a hood of a wolf pelt. There's various different degrees of gnoll. It's rather interesting. And as you guys kind of sit down and take your seats, you sit on these kind of creaky pews. You see an older gentleman, looks like the priest of Liversia, kind of come on out. He's kind of a portly man, balding hair, very, very earnest, like red cheeks, very friendly looking. He looks very confused. He's like, you can tell he's excited because this is Liversia, and Panic, you would know from reading that book. Liversia loves any type of love. Like, as long as it's like, it's consensual and like the people are in love. Like, the marriage of an orc to a human is fine. Like, they're very good for that. But for him, this is definitely, he's never done a wedding like this before. And you get the sense that he's just like, all right, this is gonna be interesting.
So,
a challenge.
Borky leans over to. I guess he's sitting beside. Wait, what's the order in which we're sitting down beside each other?
Doros is definitely sitting next to you, Borky.
Oh, he is.
He would be next to Doros because they're going to be exchanging like, well, this is weird looks, right?
So we'll go. Remy, Doros, Borky. Who's sitting beside Borky on the other side?
I guess me.
Task. Okay, and then who's beside Task?
I assume Greckles wants an aisle seat, so put Panic, then Greckles.
Yeah, Greckles would want an aisle seat because Greckles going to be keeping an eye on literally everything around him in case there's a break-in or something.
Panic wants the aisle seat in case they ask him to leave again.
Well, you're at least near the aisle seat.
This is a different temple. This is a completely different temple.
Borky leans down to Task. So like the gnoll and the elf, they how did Task? How do you think they met? Was it like a combat situation? And like love bloomed on a battlefield, but it's weird because love is a battlefield.
I mean, maybe opposites attract in this situation, Borky.
I mean
Look at how calm these elves are and how rowdy these the gnolls are. Do you think this is like some kind of way to like make some kind of middle ground?
I don't. When they have a kid, will it just be human?
It would be the female. Borky, it would be the female.
What?
It would be the race. It would be the race from the female. It wouldn't be the race of the male.
Pretty sure that's not how babies work, but okay. Baboos, I mean.
Don't look at me. My kin freaking lay eggs and we hatch from them.
What? But we eat so many eggs on a daily basis.
I know, weird that.
It is weird, that. Okay, stop this conversation. Shut this down!
As you guys sit, the gnolls all kind of begin to quiet, and you watch as one of them drags into the middle of the altar a barrel that is wearing an outfit too. It has hands, like arms made of broomsticks with gloves at the end, and like a pumpkin head with a wig tossed on top, angry eyebrows, and like pointy teeth coming out of it. If anyone wants to do knowledge arcana, identify what the barrel is supposed to be.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's
I can't roll any worse tonight.
That's a
13.
Oh.
19! I finally rolled over a 10. Let's go.
Natural 20.
Of
All
course.
right.
No.
That's the best man. That's the best man.
It is, in fact, not the best man. This thing is dragged in front of the actual, like, I forgot the name of it, the stand that they speak from.
The pew,
Can't
the
remember.
podium.
You.
The podium. The podium.
The
Thank
left
you.
turn.
Yeah, the podium. It's set in front of the podium. Remy, at first you're confused, but then you realize what it is. Panic, you know what it is right away. It's supposed to like look like visually like a vampire, you assume. You have no idea why, but that is 100%. Your artistic interpretation is that is what that is.
So there's an effigy vampire in the,
Yeah.
Oh,
middle.
boy.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so that'll be fun.
Well,
Oh, are we getting human sacrifices here going on? What the fuck?
Only Panic and Remy know this.
Yeah, the rest of you all are just looking at like a weird barrel.
Is that,
I can't wait.
is-
I can't wait for
right.
the fucking groom to get beheaded. I'm just like,
I don't. I'm not gonna lie. I know Nose can be a little bit weird looking, but that's the weirdest looking Nose I've ever seen. Congratulations on your favorite day.
All the gnolls like snarl and growl and like victory unison. Like they just hear you yell and they assume you're cheering, and they're just like, "Oh, we gotta echo back."
Oh man,
boy, hey.
this is fun. Borky just yells at him again. Ah!
the entire elf side just sighs in unison.
this is how they did the wave back in ye old times.
It's not a Dothraki wedding until someone dies or someone gets pregnant.
Hey.
Solid reference.
That's
Fuck yeah.
true. Game of Thrones.
Oh man.
Alrighty. So, as you guys kind of sit down, eventually there comes a bit of a quiet, and then music begins to play. You watch as, coming from the entryway of the temple, a very large gnoll walks in. Let me turn down the music
my
here.
goodness.
Oh yeah.
Oh, here we go.
There
Oh,
we
man.
go.
You watch as a gnoll walks out. He has a red mane of hair. It kind of has a curl to the front. He looks very proper. He's wearing very nice vestments. He also has a cravat, and he's got the rosiest, happiest cheeks as he meekly kind of makes his way into the temple, very excited for his wedding. He slowly makes his way, and as he does, all the gnolls just start yipping and howling and like kind of pumping their fists, kicking their weapons and cheering. What do you guys do? You guys join in, or?
Sure.
We should all be the gnolls and all howl and make noises to simulate what's happening.
I'm gonna roll an insight. If task fails, he's gonna side with the gnolls.
Okay,
Oh God.
That's a pass.
that's a pass.
I
Yeah.
was about to say like above 10's a pass.
Yeah, they're absolutely howling. Like they're treating this like a party. While the elves are just like,
Tash just scratches his head and he just observes.
This is
you're just watching. You're taking anthropological notes as this progresses. And as you do, the gnoll makes his way up to the front. He kind of walks past the weird, strange vampire effigy next to the pastor, I guess, the priest. And as he does, all the heads turn, and you see as a man who looks like an older Einford with a mustache begins to walk down the aisle with this elven woman who doesn't look like Einford. She's the only one who doesn't.
Oh dang.
This very beautiful elven woman with sort of short, kind of white hair, kind of tossed to one side. She's wearing a very beautiful dress. And as she gently strides, all the gnolls begin to howl, and once again, all the elves kind of gently clap. And she looks very excited. She's got a big smile on her face. And as she kind of approaches the gnoll waiting for her at the altar, is just kind of like excited. And you see him like
Aw.
get all bristly and kind of like he can't contain his excitement, like a dog in a way. And slowly she's led up to the altar. And they kind of take hands between the vampire effigy and the priest. And like, it's weird. For those of you who didn't pass that check, this vampire effigy is like right in the way of this beautiful ceremony. But you have no idea. The priest pulls up his book, and you notice as he pulls up his book, Remy, I want you to make a perception check first because you have advantage, so I just want to see if you're going to pass.
Boy.
Nice,
Doesn't matter.
16 you do.
16. I'm
As-
having a day.
As he lifts up his book, you see that in all of like different parts of his holy book, there are various notes that are sticking out that he's kind of like trying to read over and is kind of tilting his head in confusion.
Oh great.
It appears as though he's got a little extra to add into his ceremonial thing. So as everybody sits down and kind of quiets down, the priest kind of goes forward, goes, "Dearly beloved and fellow pack mates, we are gathered here today in holy matrimony and in unifying pack times, right, in holy matrimony to see this man and woman married. And he kind of proceeds through going through all the different various, like, do you take her to be your lawfully wedded wife and also the one who will avenge you if you die? Say if you get killed way too soon or something like that.
Wow.
Borky to task. Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, nod sagely.
That's sweet.
Do you, you hear their names too. The Knoll's name is Garagog, that's his name.
Garagog?
Garagog is his name.
Garagog.
Yeah.
Spell that?
Galagog.
Here, I'll just type it out for you.
Just type it, yeah.
It's probably spelled the way it sounds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
What a coinky dinky dees.
Garagog Ripjaw is his name.
Sick.
From the Ripjaw clan.
Ripjaw.
And then Violet is the elf's name.
Ah.
Her name's
Violet. That's
Yeah.
Violet.
Violet Ripjaw.
Not bad.
That's more like violent Ripjaw.
I was
all
about
right?
to say.
Snap fingers.
For those of you present here today, and for the ancestors who died bloody and beaten on the battlefield, for any of those who have any objections to this holy matrimony, speak now, or forever hold your peace. And if you speak, you may or may not be ripped to absolute smithereens.
Ooh. Oh, that's neat.
There's dead silence.
Yup.
No one says anything.
Can Task and Borky actually like look over behind them in the pews to see if anyone actually objects?
You want to be lifted up to look?
No, I'm being a shit. This is
We're just
Okay.
Borky's kind of looking around, like kind of disappointed. Oh, come on.
yeah, like the Task folds his arms, like, God damn it.
I just off.
By the
People are
power invested in me by the goddess Livrosia, as well as the ancient ancestors of our bloody Knoll brethren, I now pronounce you man and wife. You may now slay your fellow united enemy. And you watch as the male Knoll pulls out a giant battle axe and lovingly and tenderly hands it to his new wife. And the both of them take a battle axe, swing, and just start smashing the barrel to smithereens. And the Knolls and the pews just go absolutely berserk
good shit.
with energy.
That's great.
This is metal.
That's insane.
Greckles would be cheering at this point.
Hell
All
yeah.
of the elves clap, delighted. No change in expression. And all in unison too, which is
Oh, they're all
scary.
clapping in unison. Jesus, that's creepy.
They are.
This is terrifying.
Yeah.
That is
Are they vampires?
that's genuinely horrifying. Yes.
You can roll an insight to check.
Are they?
Ask if you'd like to.
I don't know. Okay, fuck it. Why not? We're here. 11.
You have no idea.
Okay.
Borky's gonna insight them because they're all clapping in unison. That's weirding him the fuck out.
Yeah, that is a little.
That's an 8.
No idea.
That is a 14.
No idea.
Come on.
This family appears to be a mystery. And like you can watch as Doros is watching it all unfold, and he's trying to calculate in his brain because this is his like one of his workers right now, and he's really trying to decipher how Einford became a person, and he's getting very confused.
He's a clone. I'm starting to think he's a fucking clone.
Remy
Some
just
horrible
feels like a
treatment.
fish out of
Wait,
water.
we have
He's
to
been
check
to
for a-
plenty of.
We have to check for
This
a
is
belly
weird.
button.
Sorry, what was
Check
Remy
for a-
gonna say?
Oh no, I was just saying Remy looks like he's a fish out of water because he's been to a bunch of these. This is nothing like he's ever seen.
Yeah, it's rather strange.
He's just trying to
So-
blend in, clapping.
As the ceremony progresses, the Violet and Garagog, they kind of go arm in arm and they begin to kind of peruse around. You guys are led to sort of the back part of the temple, which is kind of like a reception area, where you see various different foods. There's clams, there's pastries, there's a giant wedding cake. You also
What are the
see
toppers?
the toppers are they're wooden carvings of what appears to be like a humanoid shape and then a Knoll shape, and they're currently arm in arm and they're kind of smooching a little bit. It's very cute.
Are they
Pulling a
holding?
vampire
Are
in
they
half.
are they holding weapons?
Yes, they're both holding axes
Yes!
outstretched in their hands. There's also like some decorations at the bottom of like a battle going on between Knolls and what you assume is vampires, and the Knolls are totally kicking ass.
Oh, this is
And,
pretty
like,
metal.
Zareth kind of walks over and nods, like, yes, this is acceptable. Like, this is excellent.
Really nice job on the cake.
And as you guys kind of go around, there are various different drinks are being served, and you watch as some of the gnolls begin to partake in a game, a very interesting game. There is a log, not your cleric,
Oh,
but
thank God.
a log on its side, kind of on this stand, and there are giant, like massive nails. They have these almost like rail spike like nails. They're not rail spikes, but they're kind of smaller. And they currently are like got a big bag of them, and they're kind of like walking over, and all the gnolls are kind of barking and yipping. And now both the families are intermingling. And if you thought it was weird before, it just got a lot weirder. You watch as these gnolls with their very like expressive sort of like voices and lingo kind of talk to these very monotone elves who don't seem to be phased by anything at the moment. As the gnolls are just like any slight thing, the gnolls just are set off. They go absolutely berserk. Like someone drops a cupcake on the ground and like 5 of them dive to go get it. It's like absolute chaos.
I will bite. What is this game they are playing?
It appears that they have axes with flat ends on one side, and they have these long nails. You actually see Zarv helping set up the game, and he kind of turns over and sees you all, and he goes, "Oh, hey guys, how you doing?"
Oh my god, it's the dude who's the musician.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, this is Zarv. Remy, you've heard of Zarv.
No,
He's
I
like-
remember he was at the freaking ball.
Yeah, he's also pretty famous.
Panic kept
too.
getting on the stage, messing with him.
Hey,
Saw
Zarv,
you as
hey,
well.
what do
Saw
you-
you as well.
Zarv, what are you setting up over here?
Oh, it's a little bit of a Knoll game. It's kind of a fun drinking game, you know. Ain't be no wedding without a bit of drinking or fighting.
It's,
Both.
okay, you have me. You just have me now.
Fuck it, I'm in.
Yeah. Say, we're in. What's up? What's the deal?
All right. Well, that means to be filled up. We got 2 gnolls and a lot of you. I'm assuming all y'all want to join in. Is that my certain here?
Very well.
I mean,
All right. Doros kind of pushes you, Remy.
Thank you.
Mm.
tell us.
Well,
tell us more.
The game's real simple
So-
here. Yeah?
I was saying, yeah, I heard game, not contest.
Well, it's kind of like game and a contest. I mean, contests can be games, you know?
I suppose.
The winner there gets that delightfully delicate fruit basket. And he points to a fruit basket currently sitting. It's got like ribbons all over it. It
What?
contains like a bottle of wine and some fancy cheese and like a bunch of different fruits and some flowers.
Ooh, wonder if there's honeydew.
Yeah, no, if you win this little contest, you win the fruit basket.
So
Well,
how do you
this is
play?
how- All right, so this is how you play. I'm gonna give you one of these. And he pulls out some battle axes and he hands you guys battle axes.
No,
Oh.
thank you, sir. I have my own. Thank you, though.
No, you gotta use the ones I give you. I'm sorry.
oh.
Those are the rules.
But yours isn't big enough. Oh.
So the axes have one axe head and then they're flat on the other side. It's not like a double axe head. It is like just
So,
one
like-
axe and then flat.
They're like big hatchets, basically.
More or less, yeah. They're like giant, very grisly hatchets. Task, yours has blood on it. Yay! All right, so here's how this contest goes. And you watch as he begins to fill up shots of liquor next to you. So this is how the game goes.
Okay.
You see this nail here, this really long nail, and it's about a foot long. This nail is like a foot long. It's huge. What you need to do is drive that nail into that log. But here's the thing. Anytime you miss, you take a shot.
Okay.
Oh fuck! I might just miss this on purpose.
All right, well, boys, this is gonna separate the boys for a bit. I think. Porky just starts stretching. I feel really good about this right now.
2 gnolls walk up. You guys begin to kind of make an audience now as this happens. So you guys have your nails, and you watch as as Zarv goes through and kind of hammers the first nail and everything, and then Zarv kind of stops and goes, "Oh yeah, there's one more thing to this game. You got to hold your other hand behind your back. You only get to use one hand."
Oh.
Yeah, you only one hand for this. By the way, this is a real game.
Borky
Sweet.
feels the competition. Am I allowed to go into a rage?
No, not for this.
Dang it!
You would have to then attack everybody.
It's true.
I have
Yeah.
I have a new Halloween game to play.
For this, I need everyone to roll flat d20s.
All right.
Okay.
So no strength modifiers because you do have no control of this axe. Hold on, we're not starting yet.
Oh, we are.
I didn't roll, I didn't roll.
Ignore our
Yeah,
rolls.
we're not-
Those don't count.
We're not starting yet.
Money.
All right. Mm-hmm.
Just real quick before things get started, because Greckles really is paranoid. That's something my
Okay.
can I just before I get shit faced, can I just do a perception to see if there's
Sure.
anything wonky?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. Oh, that
You might be better shit faced.
Yeah, it's a wedding. You're fine. There's Knowles out.
Oh, okay.
I think the moment shit started, like 95% of this entire like building would just eradicate whoever's doing it.
So you'd think that, but then magic, Cito, magic.
I was gonna say they have fur. You can burn that real easy.
It's true.
Oh my god.
Nice big old fireball.
Because Greckles was actually gonna step out of this game and actually just do recon around the area just in case, but fine, it's cool.
All right, you guys step up, and Zarv kind of yells out, "All right, everybody, this is the first round of the game. These are competitors, all 7 of them, and let's get going." All right, so I'm gonna roll first for the other Knolls who are competing.
Okay.
That one passes. By the way, natural 20s do not affect this. That one passes too. All right, so Remy, you're up. You take the axe in your hands.
Here we go, Remy. Here we go. Whoop, whoop.
There we go. 3.
You go to swing, you're like, how do I even hit this? And you miss completely, and immediately you are handed a shot. And you have to, and they're like, and all the Knolls are like, drink, 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 drink.
Really should stop doing this. Oh dear. He's gonna have to drink it.
Yeah, you take the shot, it burns a bit, but it's good. It's
Oh.
very nice liquor. They are not, even though it's a game, they're not skimping out on the liquor. That is your turn. Borky, it is now your turn.
Borky's feeling good right now. Let's go for it. And that is a 3 as well.
3.
Go!
You
Come
go
on,
in
roll
really-
20.
You go running in really enthusiastically, and you go to swing, and you end up hitting like above it. There's a huge dent in the wood. A couple of nails fall out, and like Zarv goes back and kind of knocks them back in. And then you're handed a shot.
Go! Okay, Borky sips it.
You don't sip it. You should take a shot.
Shot. What do you mean you sip it?
That,
You ain't sipping
that Borky's very big. It's a sip practically to him.
Okay.
Borky does a deep suck and sucks it all down in one big shot.
All right.
Ow.
Taz,
Maybe
it
you
is-
should have. Maybe you should have stretched more.
Maybe I stretched too much.
I just imagine he holds the glass up to his face. It's
If
like
he
a
rolls
hard,
a 3, I'm calling shenanigans.
it's a hard cut on Borky's face. Like you only see his face. He holds up the cup in camera. He like breathes in through his nose and it goes through his nose. That's how he drinks it.
You've heard of butt shots. Now get ready to nasal shots.
All right, let me roll this 20.
Alrighty.
Disclaimer: don't actually do that.
12.
You Taz, because you're short. Literally, you walk up, you outstretch your arm to the longest distance you can, and you just charge up, and you manage to smack the nail. It goes about 1/3 of the way into the log. So you pass, and like there's some cheerings and yipping and clapping from the viewers.
Taz just gives like a small nod with a grin on his face and walks back.
Panic, it is now your turn.
Okay, I'm assuming I can't cheat with Mage Hands to hold the grips
No,
because
you
Mage Hand
cannot.
is invisible, and nobody would know, right? Right? Oh, fuck it.
No,
All
you're not allowed to.
right. Okay. Here we go.
Panic!
10.
Hey, you just barely passed. You hit it, and it's like there's a tink. It goes in a bit, and then there's like some like clapping and there's some cheering as you kind of make it next. All right, so Panic got one too. Alrighty, and then Greckles, it is now your turn.
Oh boy, here we go.
Nice.
That's a 17.
Wow.
You go running in and you get it 1/3 of the way into you kind of juggle the axe in your hand, and as you do, everyone's like woo and kind of claps, and you just kind of swing your arm back and just back, you kind of hit it, and it manages to sink in quite a bit. And so I was like, all right, round 2. The Knolls go down again.
We got
That
this
one's
round
sick.
2.
Yeah, there's round 2. That one fails.
Oh, come on. Your bird liver can handle it.
That one fails. Alrighty. Remy, it's now your turn.
Boy. Finally, nat 20. Let's go. God.
Nat 20s technically don't count as natural 20s,
I don't
but
care. It still feels good.
you drive that sucker halfway through.
Woo! He does. Let's go, Remmel.
Dang.
You're feeling the alcohol kind of taking its effect, but you're like, all right, we got this.
You got it.
Alcohol, it makes you strong.
Borky, it is now your turn.
Ooh, congrats, Remy. Now I'm gonna show you how it's really done. Here,
He says before missing.
natural one. Natural one.
Wow.
Natural one.
Please,
Panic
Look,
starts-
can he
Panic
hit mine
starts-
all the way in, please?
Panic starts clapping. Wow, you showed them, buddy.
Borky, you go to swing and you knock the nail out of the wood.
Don't.
And Zarv has to go and put it up, and as he's putting it back up, he hands you a bigger shot.
Oh no, there's so much alcohol. I feel the
You roll a
booze.
Constitution saving throw for me.
I feel the booze overtaking me. 24.
Okay, you're good.
It is
You're
a
good.
good sip.
Yeah, you're good. Alrighty. That brings us back to you, Task. Your nail is got clearly been hit once, so you're feeling pretty good.
All right, here we go.
Nice. You walk up, and once again, you kind of flip the axe in your arm, and you kind of like do sort of like a side spin, like almost like a spin attack in Zelda. And you just bam, you hit that nail, and it drives about 2/3 of the way in.
Nice.
And like part of the log is kind of cracking a bit from the force that you managed to do.
Sick.
Ooh.
Alrighty, Panic. It is now your turn.
Okay. Here I go throwing again. Come on.
Come on. Come on.
Hey!
Oh!
You swing and you're like, I'm getting pretty good at this. You swing the axe and you kind of bring it like from the underhand and you just kind of knock it, and then the nail goes in even further. You're kind of matched with Task at this point. And there's more cheering and clapping.
Oh,
No- The gnolls are getting who are competing are getting kind of bitter, and they're just like, beginner's luck. Kind of trying to pick a fight a little bit.
beginner. I am the best at drinking games.
More like you're the best at nailing things.
That's true. Down low. Down low.
Down low, hitting
Come
that down low.
I was gonna say you sure nailed that.
Both are true.
It's true.
Alrighty. Greckles, it is now your turn.
Come
Ironford's
on,
like,
Grex.
Ironford's like, go Greckles, yay.
Everyone else in the crowd, all on his side of the family. Yay.
Greckles wrist twist the axe in his hand and nope, that's a three.
You
Uh-oh.
go and you hit the side of the wood, you dent the wood again, and it drops, and you're brought a shot.
I'm gonna do one perception check.
Okay.
That's a 20.
It's a 20. You don't see anything. I mean, it's just the
Ah.
wedding. There's food.
Alright.
There's dancing.
You're
there's
really
this game.
paranoid.
Yeah.
Your vision is stronger when looking through 4 eyes.
This is true. This is true. All right.
Take the shot, you'll see everything.
Taking
Yeah.
it.
Need you to roll a Constitution saving throw.
Oh,
for me.
but it was a beginner shot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
you're a beginner drinker.
Where is
and,
the...
and you have a tiny bird liver.
You don't know how big my liver is. Where is the freaking... Where are the saves?
Character
Oh, there it
sheet
is. There's.
very-
Okay, I got it. No mod. That's a 9.
Oh no, you're starting to feel a little bit buzzed, but you're not
Uh-huh.
drunk. But you're like, uh-oh, I have lightning bird blood.
From a shot?
Wow, Greckles.
They're filling up my hollow bones.
He's not just a lightweight, he's a featherweight.
I get it. Up high.
Thank you. I have good jokes. I really want to hit a nail. Please let me hit it.
All right, on to round 3. Okay. So, the gnolls are gonna go first. Okay, that one passes. And the other one also passes. So the other gnolls kind of drive their nails in. They're pretty close to being finished now, too. Task, it is now your turn.
Okay.
Oh, Task.
Oh boy.
Oh!
Damn it.
Task.
Oh, dear.
You go to swing and you're just like, yes. And you're kind of short. And like before where the nail was, you could hit it from your height. But this time you kind of jumped up to hit it, but you jumped up too high and you smacked above it. And you almost clipped the nail on your way, kind of reaching back. You almost yanked it back out, but you managed not to do that.
Was it?
And
Sorry, was it Remy's turn? Was it Remy's turn after Greckles?
Does it matter?
Oh, sorry, I
I
didn't know.
don't think it matters. It's
I did it out of order. I'm sorry.
Oh, no worries. I just
Yeah,
wondered if that
I was
part of
like, I was like, wait a minute, are you sure it's my turn? Like, I won't argue the GM.
I was gonna
No,
say,
sorry.
you can have the one. It's fine.
I got excited. I'm sorry. You're very close. You get handed a shot. They give it to you.
Okay.
Zarv gives you a big shot, and for you, it's almost like a half glass of water. It's
Ooh.
quite large.
it.
Ooh, boy.
Okay, you throw it back.
Come on, baby.
10.
Oof, it's strong. It's strong. You're kind of sitting where Greckles is. You're like, whoa, boy.
Ooh, baby.
God damn it.
Alrighty. Now let's start with you, Remy.
Okay. Ooh, come on, man. Oh, Remy, you need something good to
I
happen.
took your nat
Let's
one.
go, Nat 20! That's what I'm
Oh,
talking
shit.
about!
Oh,
That's
shit.
how we do it!
Bosco.
In Bolivia, baby!
Bosco, you're fucking welcome.
You go and swing again, Remy. You remember your training. You remember your Raven Knight and your Griffin Rider training. You cannot fail here. You swing and you knock that nail. It is so close to being fully in there. Borky, it is now your turn.
Okay. If at first you don't succeed, try again. If second you don't succeed, try again and hide the tears. If third time you don't succeed, try and feel sad while trying. Come on, baby. And that is 7.
Aww.
Son of a bitch! Morgan swears.
In your frustration, you swing again, and you completely miss again. And Zarb hands you another shot.
No,
And
it's
you roll
just-
another Constitution saving throw.
If it was my axe, I'd be hitting it, you know. It's just because I.
Yeah, that's
That's just.
that's the point.
I
man.
says that's
You don't-
11. It's an 11.
Aw. No, disadvantage.
Oh, that's a nat 1.
Yeah.
That-
You're starting to feel a little tipsy now.
Is this shot? Why is this shot a bucket? Morky walked after him.
Alrighty. That brings us to Panic. It is now your turn. Your
It's
nail
okay.
is so close to being in there.
As the designated driver, I can't afford to lose. And Panic goes Ultra Instinct.
Ka, panic, grim tongue.
Yay! Good job. You guys watch as Panic rears back and he knocks the arrow all the way flat to the wood into the log, and all the gnolls erupt into howls and screams. One of the gnolls gets thrown up into the air for some random reason. The albatross starts flying around and squawking as Zarv is like, yeah, good job, man. All right, let me go grab you
Deal.
a fruit
The
basket."
goatest of all time at drinking contests, Panic Grim Tongue.
You watch as Zarb comes over and he hands you the fruit basket. It's very nice.
Wow, he really is the best at nailing.
It's true.
Ugh.
All right.
Borky just burps. It's true.
And Panic starts doing shots.
Okay.
My victory lap.
You guys start kind of drinking. You guys partake in the food. Tarisk is like pulling you the entire time task towards that cupcake.
No, we
like-
fucking stopped that. We stopped that this instant.
All right, roll
just-
handle animal.
I just imagine Tarisk like grabbing the end of a tablecloth and pulling all the food into his mouth slowly.
You watch as he does do that. He grabs the tablecloth and kind of begins to yank, and you immediately like do that thing where a dog eats something. You're like, no, stop it. You like open his mouth, like force his mouth open, and kind of like physically drag him away.
Oh,
as
no,
he like
I-
scrapes across the floor. It's like,
I drag him away, but then I tell him, scout what you want. I tell him to look to what he wants.
He looks to one of the cupcakes that has like a really, really nice little like, it looks like, what is it called? Oh, shoot. It looks like buttercream frosting on top of it.
Oh.
Task will take that one.
Okay.
Task will take that one. Bow, kneel down before him. When you want something, let me know, and I hand it to him.
He like eats the whole thing in one bite.
I pat him on the head.
He kind of like begins to like pad around, kind of like smelling other various things and kind of looking around. Very curious.
Want to make it a point, Greckles does not drink. He'll eat to its heart's content, but he's not getting hammered at this party.
All right.
Remy's
guys
also going to
want-
stay away from the hard liquor after, months ago.
Fair enough.
Borky finishes off his bucket slowly.
Oh yeah.
Panic and Borky, I want you guys to roll Constitution saving throws again for me.
Sweet. 19. God, I'm too good at this.
That's an 18.
Borky, you can't seem to get more drunk and panic. You're pretty good. You ate some bread before you showed up.
He's
and you're
pat-
eating.
No, that makes me fat.
Panic, I want you to know that I figured I would be the best at drinking games, but you son of a bitch, you're really good at them. And I want you to know, I respect that.
Yep.
I respect that. I really respect that. You know, he's pushing him in the face, pushing him with his hand. I respect that. I really wish you wouldn't win. Did you oof me?
You're pushing me.
Oh, well, it's true. I don't want to push. I want to pull you in. Come on, give me a hug. Oh, I love you, Panic.
Okay, yep. All right. Uh-huh.
There we go.
That's an oof.
Well,
You guys watch as Doros also does partake in some drink. And like as he's taking drinks, Zarv's like, no, you need like a double, man. You need like a triple. Oh boy. Doros is like, kind of like raising up his hand, like, just this is fine. Like this is fine. As you guys are kind of like meandering around, you begin to talk to some of the gnolls, some of the elves. The family actually knew each other through trade. They came to Alavas. The Einford's family is actually full of traders, Tracadian traders. And the gnolls also came kind of on the same boat to come to Alavast. And shoot, what were their names? Violet and Oragog, I think that was his name.
Yep.
yeah.
Oragog?
Garagog.
Garagog. Garagog and Violet met on that ship and they hit it off, and they ended up working together. The gnolls basically worked as mercenaries, and whatever the gnolls found, the elven family would basically send to Tricadia, and that's kind of how they became kind of business partners. And so they're very excited for this wedding because it kind of solidifies that almost that unity and that willingness to help each other. And as the wedding progresses, you do begin to hear like the glass being kind of hit. And you watch as the Violet kind of steps in front of everybody and is like, now it's time to throw the bouquet. And all the women show up. And you see all these like really small elven women. And then these absolute monsters of the female gnoll women who are at least a foot taller than all the males.
They
Like
just want to eat it.
they all begin, they like roll their shoulders and like crack their heads and their necks and kind of like flex a bit, like kind of rolling and getting ready. And like the elves are like, yay! Like
I was like, yes, this would be nice.
Real quick. Greckles is gonna get in that crowd.
oh, that's for
White.
the women. That's for
It's
the
for
women.
the ladies.
Yeah.
The men also throw something, but you can't get in with the ladies.
No,
No,
Greckles, you drank too much. That's for girls.
Greckles, let's just sit in the front, look to the side, and watch the poor elves get trampled.
Okay.
Greckles is a little sad.
Could put some eyeliner and some beak stick on you.
Is that what it's called? Because you don't have no lips?
Beak stick?
I guess so.
Beak stick?
That's a market we should break
Make you
into.
look like a-
I will
make
be
you
a
look like foxy woman.
What is happening?
I'm dying. Alrighty, so you guys watch as as Violet kind of turns around. She's got the bouquet. Let's see who's gonna win, whether it's gonna be the gnolls or the elves.
If the elves win, I'll be very surprised.
I just want.
What? Okay, they tied. I have to re-roll.
Oh,
Shit.
I rolled 2 10s. They tied. That was crazy. What luck?
They
Okay, you
both-
guys watch as the bouquet launches into the air in slow motion, and immediately there's just a dust cloud of violence and fur and like shreds of dresses, and then there's like this stillness as you see just this giant pile of women, and then this little arm sticks out going, "I got it!" And everyone's like, "Yay!" As this elf's hand sticks out with this like mutilated bouquet of flowers.
Panic watches this intently.
there's like a tooth in it.
It's like a fucking scene from a cartoon with football players piling
just-
on one dude.
I just imagine the two who tied just grab the bouquet at the same time, and then it's like, this battle is about to explode.
You can't escape crossing
fate.
fate.
You can't escape crossing fate.
Alrighty, and then you watch as Goragog stands up, and he's holding a very, very ornamental battle axe.
Oh, why are you throwing that?
Here we go. Let's do this,
Is
boys.
it dull at
No,
both
we're doing it.
ends?
We're doing it. We're doing it.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Is this for the lads?
You guys, this is for the lads. You
Alright.
watch as all the male gnolls, who are smaller, Zarv kind of like is just like, no, not for me. I'm gonna stay here. Kind of like sits back. But you guys watch as you guys kind of get up and you're like, kind of like, yeah, let's go. You hear the thunderous footsteps, and standing behind you with it just clear intent is Doros.
Oh,
He's like his laser sights are on that battle axe right now, and what it signifies.
does he have one of those?
Why
Does he have one of those anime breathe out with the nose? Like he's like feeling.
Yeah,
The
basically.
snort, like the bull snort.
Yeah.
Alrighty. I need everybody to roll initiative.
Yeah.
Wow.
23.
17.
Kurt, you roll with advantage because now you have feral sense.
It's true. My
Oh,
feral
man.
sense kicks in, so I go.
Also 17.
I'll also go 17 is the highest roll for me.
17 is the highest roll for you. You guys watch as everybody leaps up to grab the battle axe as it comes flying through the air. And Greckles, you actually run up Doros's back.
Oh, hell yeah.
You do a front flip in the air, you grab the axe, and everyone goes, oh, and claps.
Last second.
got it,
Can I do
got it.
something? Can I do something last second?
What?
I said I wanted to do something last second.
Oh, sorry.
I wanted to mage hand the axe to Doros.
I would mage hand it from you, bitch.
Okay, go ahead. Steal the guy's dreams.
He wants to
I
ma-
kind of like this.
Greckles has no. Fuck you. Greckles has dreams. Damn it.
Okay, I kind of want to let this happen.
Confirm, chat. Confirm. Greckles has dreams.
dreams about birdseed, I think.
All right, Greckles, I want you to make a perception check. And Panic, I want you to make a sleight of hand check.
Oh, good.
10?
10.
No. You try,
Oh!
you try, and even Doros is like, yes. But then Greckles grabs it and lands on the ground. And Doros has just got tears, like he looks very sad.
Pat him on the shoulder. I tried, buddy.
He kind of just sighs.
You fucking cheater.
Do you not know this by now?
I know.
Everyone-
That's why I'm on your tricks.
Everyone cheers and applauds. The night proceeds with some dancing. It's very cute. Violet and Garagog are kind of like Garagog's kind of twirling Violet on the dance floor, and they're kind of like doing some samba stuff and having a blast. She seems to be having a thrilling time. She's not bothered at all. I think she's probably used to this by now. And as the night progresses, Einford's just like, "Hey, Greckles,
Yeah, what's up?
here's your table." He sets a table in front of you. You're gonna juggle on top of this.
I'm all right. I'm down with this.
Okay, Monty, I have a question to ask you.
Uh-huh.
Since this is juggling and it's dexterity based, can I use dex modifiers? Because performance is charisma based, isn't it?
Yeah, I would say I would let you just do a dexterity check. if you'd
Okay,
like.
thank you. Because charisma do not make good juggle.
There's fucking
No.
the Zoidberg with the torches. Look at me! Look at me! Look at me!
You're a very good technical juggler, but you're not getting any tips.
This is true. This is true.
All right. What do you want to juggle physically?
What's around?
An axe? You
there-
have an axe to juggle?
There are axes. There are cupcakes.
Please juggle the axe.
There are glasses, like dinnerware glasses. There's the shot glasses. There's the nails.
So is it like hatchets?
Yeah, there's some that are like small hatchets.
Okay, because like full blown axes, like if they're like a foot long, that'd be a hard thing to juggle.
Yeah.
All right,
so
so
go home, Grex.
I'm gonna do this because my mage hand specifically is invisible. If I fail, I'm going to mage hand the one that is not like either in my hand or near my hand, so it keeps moving.
Okay. All right.
So I think I'm gonna do hatches because I'm trying to
Trying to impress the Knolls. All right. So roll a dexterity check for me.
raw dex, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Raw dex coming up.
Let's go.
That is
Not
a 10.
bad. Not bad.
That's all
You
right.
kind of. It's something new. You've never juggled it before, but you begin to attract an audience, and people kind of begin to surround you, and they start like clapping, like clap, 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 as you're kind of juggling. Then some of the Knolls get a little too excited and start throwing more axes. Into
Oh god damn it!
I need you to roll another dexterity check for me.
Ah,
I can't wait until you
Dice.
succeed so high enough that they throw a child in there.
It's 15. Go.
Watch out, he'll pocket that.
You begin to juggle all of these axes now, and it's like your arms are just going and going and going and going, and the Knolls begin to cheer. One of them throws in what appears to be some sort of like war horn of some kind. Like they toss in a war horn. They toss in what appears to be a potion bottle, and let's see what else they have on them. That they can toss.
Can Borky throw in gripples? There you go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Borky throws
Perfect.
gripples in there.
Why? Why though?
I need you to roll a dexterity check again for me.
Panic,
Okay.
pulls out his guitar and starts going.
Please. Okay, Monty, please let me know when I can dismount the juggling. Like to do a nice showmanship wrap up.
Okay, we'll see if you pass this check.
That's
No.
10!
Well, they start to slip out. However you want to end, you're gonna have to end it now. You can't go any farther than this.
No, I'm gonna as the axes land in my hand, I'm gonna throw them like forward against something that isn't the wall or expensive. Just
Okay.
boom, 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 boom. And then when I get to the horn, after all the axes, just give a triumphant blow and like do that cresting movement from down to all the way up.
Okay. You do so. You throw all the axes into the log where the competition took place.
That works.
And then you kind of do a front roll. Bloop, comes out of the horn, which is met with laughter by everybody. And then there's just explosive applause. Like everyone's really, really quite thoroughly impressed. So to give you, like, this is amazing, and I want to say this out loud. The saves for that were 3 different saves, which were 10, 15, and 20 respectively.
I
And you
knew
got
we-
10, 15, and then I was pretty impressed. So good
You
job.
couldn't give me advantage for using Mage Hand. I'm sad.
No. It's focus. We're focusing, like it's hard.
Oh, I know. I'm being a shit.
But everyone applauds, and there's good times to be had. And you watch now as a goblin actually wheels out the wedding cake now.
No.
He's wearing a very nice chef's hat and attire. And you watch now as the bride and the groom and everyone kind of gathers around. And they're just like, and now we will cut the cake. And everyone kind of applauds and claps. And then you watch as Violet takes the knife, and with Gorogog's help, they take the knife and they slice into the cake. And then they're stuck. They can't seem to get the knife out of the cake. And then suddenly you guys watch as the cake begins to congeal, bubbling, and begins to consume Violet. Gorogog tries to pull her out, and then chaos begins to ensue.
Are you
As
kidding me?
Damn it.
It's a cake.
the cake is coming to life.
I attack the cake.
Why is the cake coming to life?
Is
No,
it
immediately
no, is it chocolate or vanilla?
No, immediately Dart is going against the cake because Greckles knew some shit was gonna happen the
You-
whole time.
Greckles, you dart the cake, and your darts just disappear inside of the cake. You watch now as Violet and Gorogog are absorbed, and all the drunk gnolls in their chaos, they charge the cake, trying to take it down, but then they too are absorbed by the cake. And you watch as all the guests now are trying to fight this cake, but each time they hit it, they're absorbed in. I need you all to roll initiative for me.
Task
Is it actually happening? We're gonna fight a cake?
looks to everyone else and goes, so wait, this doesn't happen in a humanoid wedding?
No.
These traditions are
Buddy.
wacky, but
Monty,
I know.
I swear to God, if you pulled from Mario RPG, I swear to God.
natural 20.
That's
Nice.
a 10.
That's a 6 for Remy.
13 for Panic.
Alrighty. As all the gnolls are consumed, because the gnolls only know one thing, and that is just like forward-facing, like fight, fight, fight. And it appears as though this cake is ready for that. As each gnoll swings in with their axe, they're just pulled into this mass, which is now growing and congealing. And you hear this horrendous laughter, this cackling, as you see this goblin now dancing in place with this giant cookbook. And he goes, "Yes! Yes! Finally! I, the great Gobbo Gourmet, have done it again!" He's kind of like laughing and skipping and jumping. First it was the Jello misadventure. Now, a cake of doom!
I'm gonna aim my crossbow at this motherfucker.
Wait a
right.
minute.
So this is a
I-
guy?
I
This
think
goblin, yeah.
I don't think he's on the up and up.
Oh, I see. You want to stop my experiments. Well, the guard tried to stop me once before, but not again. He is going to be added to combat,
Oh my god.
as well as his cupcake minions. As you watch multiple cupcakes off the table come to life, grow into enormous sizes.
Oh no.
Appears to be a legion of evil food.
This is Mario
Be our
RPG.
guest,
hell.
be our guest, be our...
BR. Oh my. Oh.
Is the cake? No. Is the cake named Bundit?
No, it's not.
Feed me!
So as we get into combat, you guys watch as there's 3 cupcakes that come to life. and they bulk up to immense sizes. They're buff cakes now.
Beefcake.
Beefcakes!
As the wedding cake congeals, you get the sense that attacking it probably will have no effects. I want everybody to roll intelligence checks for me.
Wait, that's an intelligence save.
Intelligence check.
18.
18.
Nice.
Just normal intelligence.
Just straight intelligence, yeah.
All right. 6.
Are we the smart?
11.
All right. Greckles and Task, as you guys see this goblin cackling, you see under the crook of his arm, you noticed the book, the Cookronomicon, which appears to be some sort of magical cookbook.
Son of a fucking bitch.
You get the sense that the cake's power may be coming from the Cookronomicon. And that stopping the cake itself is probably an impossibility at this time. But Borky, Remy, and Panic, you guys are beset by these cupcakes as they charge towards you. Borky, you are up first as this cupcake comes running up to you. And by the way, as combat starts, Task, you notice as Tarask's pupils dilate to just ungodly levels.
It's all
As this
Iris.
happens.
It's all Iris.
Do we have a map?
We do not. This is gonna be theater of the mind.
Oh.
Here we go.
So one of the three runs right at Borky.
One of the cupcakes runs towards you, Borky. It appears the Gobbo Gourmet is keeping a healthy about 40 feet away from the rest of you.
Well, Borky immediately goes into a rage.
All right, you go into a rage. You're still a little woozy and drunk. You're not
No
gonna
one.
take any penalties.
Borky has not been told whether it's a vanilla or chocolate cake, and it's driving him nuts. What kind of cake is it? And Borky goes not only into a rage, but rather a frenzied orcish rage.
Alrighty.
Would you say it's a
frenzied
food
rage.
frenzy?
It's a food frenzy.
It's a food frenzy.
So
You're
Borky now.
welcome.
So Borky has three. Borky pulls out his axe. I won't miss this time. So Borky.
Your bonus action is your attack. So you've used your bonus action to rage. So now you have your 2 attacks.
Oh, duration of the rage. Okay, there we go. Very well. Very well.
Yeah, bonus action is rage. You get 2 attacks this round, but your following round you get 3.
Excellent. Borky swings with a great axe.
Okay.
That's a 10.
Yes, that hits. They're cupcakes. They don't have a lot of AC.
And that's another swing. Oh, I need to roll damage first one. 15.
All right. Roll your damage for your first swing. for me.
17.
All right, 70 points of damage. You smash the cupcake into the ground. It's vanilla.
Oh, vanilla. Good. Is there?
Alrighty, it is.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh,
That's
sorry,
it.
go ahead.
I guess I'm done. Okay, cool.
Well, technically you have another. You should have waited to roll your damage first before rolling the second one.
Yep, that was my
'cause,
mistake.
Yeah, technically you're done now.
Okay.
All right, it is now the Gobbo Gourmet's turn. As you smash the cupcake, he goes, "No, my delicious creations! I must make another one!" And he kind of waves his hand, and another cupcake poof, shows up in its place in front of you, Borky. It appears that he can summon these at will.
Oh no.
And he is going to throw his knife. He's got a cooking knife.
He's a cook
He is
romancer.
He is a cook romancer. He's going to actually throw it at you, Remy. He's going to throw his kitchen knife at you.
Okay.
Oh, there goes the dice. Ooh, that's a very high roll. That is a 23 to hit you.
That'll hit me.
All right.
Hell of
You
a
watch
knife.
as he didn't roll very well on his damage die. You take 6 points of piercing damage as the kitchen knife slices through your decorative armor into your shoulder. And you watch as he triggers his cupcake frenzy as the cupcake in front of you rears up to strike at you. That's a natural 20.
Oh my
You're
god.
having really bad luck today. I'm so sorry.
Hey, at least you didn't get held person.
Gaijin, please.
I want this cupcake to start.
First cut is the deepest.
Ooh,
I-
they
I'm a-
rolled really high on their die. You take 10 points of cupcake damage,
Okay.
which is essentially bludgeoning damage.
Borky's just looking at this, just saying like, "Ah, that cupcake's really fucking this shit up with Remy."
That takes up the reaction of the cupcake. Now it's the other cupcake's turn. The one in front of you, Borky, is going to attack, and that's totally gonna miss. That's a 9. The cupcake goes to punch you, but its icing smears off across your leg. Panic, the cupcake before you is going to rear up and try to slam you. That's even worse. That's an 8. That one completely misses.
Nope.
And Remy, the cupcake before you is gonna rear up for another swing.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, rolled high again. I think it hits. I'm not sure. I gotta check here. Sorry, 1 second. Let me grab it.
Where do you roll?
It rolled a 19. Does that hit you?
That's a tie. So who does the tie go
It
to?
hits. It hits them.
Come on!
Oh my god.
I'm just
Wow.
imagining him just smashing him into chairs and shit right now.
I want the cupcakes to grow legs and start kicking him while he's down.
Yeah, no. You take another 5 points of cake damage as
Great.
you're getting currently the shit beaten out of you.
Oh no, he's taking. Oh my god, he's taking frosting damage.
If this keeps happening, his glucose levels will rise really high, and he might die of beaties.
Oh my god. Panic, it is now your turn.
So how many of these cupcakes are there?
There are 3 cupcakes currently.
Circle to blasting.
Okay. Roll to hit your first strike.
25.
That hits the first cupcake. That hits Borky's cupcake. Roll your damage.
9 fire damage.
It's still alive but on fire currently and running around in circles.
Is it
Borky, before
screaming?
you.
Did you
It
just
is
stay
not
part of Marshmallow Man? This
No,
time?
it is not screaming because it has no mouth and it cannot scream.
That is dark.
Go for your second circlet of blasting. Do you want to aim for the same cupcake or do you want to aim for a different one?
I'm hitting all 3.
All right, next one. You got to roll the circlet again.
18.
That hits as well. Roll your damage.
12 fire damage.
The one directly in front of you, Panic, just erupts into flame and just smears across the floor, completely dead. And you aim for Remy's with the last shot.
Yep.
This is the one you'll miss.
That hits as
Oh,
well.
never mind. There it is.
5 fire damage.
Come on, man!
Remy, the cupcake you are now fighting is now also on fire as it is fighting you.
This flaming abomination.
I think that helped me. I think it did.
It's like a birthday party.
Task, you watch as Taurus takes this time to immediately dive upon the dead corpse of the cupcake and begin to just rip out its gummy, delicious entrails and eat them before you. It's disgusting and horrific if you're a cupcake.
I don't mean to take away from this, but someone had a title name for this. Even if we don't choose it, it should just be said, evil bread. And it's like, it makes me happy.
I get it.
Alrighty,
It's like
it is
Evil Dead.
Panic. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
Yeah, I'm moving towards that goblin.
All right. Since you killed your cupcake, there's no attacks of opportunity. You immediately walk towards that goblin 30 feet. You're right in front of him.
I say, you better fucking stop this, or I swear to Liverosia. Liverosia is my witness. I will feed you to this thing.
Gobbo Gourmet cackles madly, throws back his head. He's got 2 eyes going in 2 different directions, and he's just like, he's covered in butter and like cinnamon, and he smells like batter and eggs. Greckles, it is now your turn.
Jesus, this is 40 feet away from me, right?
The goblin, yes, for you is 40 feet away.
Is he maniacally laughing just in front of Panic?
Yes, he is.
Greckle smears off a bit of the frosting that I'm sure is splattered on his face, draws forth both the SADS and the Kajikiri, and just bolts at his backside to just stab both deep into his back.
All right, roll to attack.
That's an 18.
That
There you go.
hits.
Oh, do I get my sneakies?
You do for the first attack.
Okay, well, yeah. All right, so regular damage. That is 11 plus, and I get 4d6 now.
Mm-hmm. Level
Yay.
7.
Woo, lad.
Woo-ha! Another 13, so
Nice. That
24.
is- Nice. Not bad. Not bad. All right. So
And then-
24, that brings him to. Okay.
And then second attack. Yeah. That is a nat 20.
20. But that's your
Oh.
offhand strike, so
Is it still?
It's still a crit, though, right?
it is still a crit. So what you want to do is you want to roll your weapon die, which I believe for the dagger is a d6.
I think it's a d4.
You know what? Just click the damage. I'll just remove the modifier.
Okay. Bam.
Oof. that is that's 3 plus 2, so that's 5 plus 5, so that's 10 points of additional damage. Not bad.
Greckles knew some shit was gonna go down. He knew it.
He felt it in his bones.
He felt in his hollow bird bones.
All right.
Alrighty, that ends your turn. The Gobbo Gourmet is still standing. He staggers, his beautiful chef's hat now on fire. He doesn't seem too troubled by that. As he goes, "No! I will have my second chance! You shall see the glory of my food!"
I think he was screaming by now.
He seems very preoccupied. He's very focused.
It takes some balls to take fire and acid into the back and be okay.
Task, it is now your turn.
This guy keeps talking. Task like looks at his big fucking stupid mouth flapping and aims an arrow right at his head. Saying ghoul, the arrow turns to ice. Then you watch as his hand slowly starts to turn a little bit of a bright red, and what looks like tendrils of ash wrap around the arrow. Hulk, ensnaring strike.
Alrighty.
Nice.
Click ensnaring strike for me.
Let me, oh, sorry, hold on.
Task has a new toy.
Ooh, that hits. Target must succeed on a strength save or be strained until the spell ends. Alrighty.
Good luck.
Alrighty, this guy has a +0 to strength. Okay. The creature's okay. Oh, whoops! I totally missed. Gotta do it again.
And ensnaring
yeah.
strike takes up my bonus action.
What's the save on this? He failed. He got a 5.
My spell save is a 15. He has to beat a 15.
Okay, yeah, well, he totally fails. You let loose, and the ash and the ice congeal, and he is completely, almost like swirled around in this sort of like whirlpool of ice, and it freezes him in place. He's like, ah!
So that takes both the arrow damage and Colossus Slayer, and ensnaring strike damage.
All right, you want to roll that for me?
Let me roll ensnaring strike first, since I rolled that. I have to remember I have to roll that second.
Yeah.
For future. Sorry about that.
2
He's
piercing.
taking 2 piercing.
Okay.
2 piercing. Let me roll the longbow. 10 plus 5, so 15.
So 15 plus 2, that's 17 in total.
So you watch as when the arrow hits him, like the arrow hits him, it explodes into that tendril-like ash, and it wraps around him and bounds him and puts him to the floor, and it turns to ice because of ghoul.
He just starts screaming over and over again. He's trying desperately to kind of cling to his cookbook, the Cooknoramicon. I can say that wrong. And he appears to be completely set in place. That was your first attack.
Yep. I have to remain concentration for ensnaring strike.
Okay. So no hunter's mark then.
Yep. Well, that's a bonus action. I already did one. That's ensnaring strike.
Yeah. No, I just mean hunter's mark is a concentration spell.
Yeah, so that's not happening. Ensnaring strike is gonna take that.
Alrighty.
So I'm gonna roll to hit him again. And say ghoul.
Alrighty.
Nice.
That hits. Ignore the stuff. That's 15 points of piercing damage. Not bad. He is not looking good. As you strike him down, he's like, you shoot him right in the eyeball, and he's like, "Meh." He kind of like starts squirming and screaming
Brain
a little
freeze,
bit.
motherfucker!
Oh, you did ice damage for that.
Yeah, that piercing turns to ice.
Alrighty, Remy, it is now your turn. You are currently being assaulted by food.
I'm gonna punch food in the face with a sword.
'Kay.
Assaulted.
17.
That hits.
7 slashing.
Alright, you slash the cupcake that's on fire right in half before you. It slumps down into a disgusting, bubbly, sugary mess on the ground.
Cool. Then there, with no other cupcakes in front of him, there's still one in front of Borky, right?
There is still one in front of Borky,
It's
and then
currently
there's the
screaming.
goblin. Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna swing at the one in front of Borky.
Okay, you charge over to the one in front of Borky. It kind of turns over before you.
Yeah, well, it can shut up because I rolled a 21.
Yeah, that hits.
That's gonna be
9.
Yep.
The +4 is for the natural 20. Yeah, that's a
why I
9.
was crazy. Yep, 9.
You absolutely you run in and you like almost pile drive this cupcake. It just splatters across the ground like it was hit by a car.
Remy then is gonna look at Borky, point his sword towards the gremlin. Borky, smash!
Alrighty. Borky cracks his knucks.
Borky, it's now your turn.
Borky sees. How does ensnaring work? Is he just frozen now?
He's trapped. He's afraid of. He's
He's
trapped.
That's why Remy's like, go hit him.
Okay, then. Very well. Then. Borky throws down his axe. Borky's gonna grab him. And Borky's gonna non-lethal damage suplex him.
Alrighty.
Woohoo! I'm not sure if this is true or not, but if the creature is ensnared, do any attacks you do on him equate to advantage?
Yes, I believe so. It counts. I think it counts as prone, right? Because you can auto grapple someone who's prone.
No, he is restrained. That is a different status.
Oh, okay.
Okay, fair enough. Just double checking.
Let me grab restraint from my handy dandy cards of afflictions here real fast.
I'm curious while that's going on. Why do you want?
A restrained creature's speed becomes 0. It can't benefit from any bonus to its speed. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage, and the creature's attack rolls have disadvantage.
Okay.
The creature has disadvantage on dexterity saving throws.
Okay. So, Borky, you can attack. I want you to do an unarmed attack with advantage. So roll a d20 plus your strength modifier.
A d20.
So d20 plus 5 is going to be what you're going to use.
All right, here we go.
With advantage, so you roll it twice.
18.
18. Okay, roll
Yep.
again.
I'll take the
10.
18.
Alright.
So the 18.
Yeah, you guys watch as Borky takes the goblin. I want you to roll a. I want you to roll a d4 plus 5 for me.
Suplex City, bitch. Seven.
All right, you take him, you grab him, you rip him out of the ice, and you pile drive him. And as he gets pile drive, you hear a resounding crack as his chef house is squished down. And as he's cracked, the ice congeals again from your spell task, and he's like locked upside down now in the ice.
He's in the floor. He's
Yeah,
in
he's
the
in-
floor, sticking up out of the floor.
His legs are sticking up, and he's kicking around. He's still clutching onto that book so closely.
Porky planted a dumbass tree.
I'm a plant me a dumbass tree. I still have one more action technically.
Yeah, you can do it again if you want.
Can I just grab the book out of his hands?
Yeah, you can. I'll let you do that.
Borky just grabs the book.
All right, roll a strength check,
Okay.
because he's gonna not want to give you that.
He's also disadvantaged, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, he rolled a natural one, so you know what? I think.
Wow.
that was no.
Yeah, you grab the book and you break off his arm because it got frozen.
Oh.
Borky very awkwardly places the arm back where it should be.
Yeah, you slap that back onto his body without even thinking about it,
Flex
and then
seal
you currently
tape!
hold within. You hold within your hand the Cookronomicon. I need you to make a Wisdom saving throw.
Oh no!
This ought to be good.
That's a 19.
19.
Wow.
You hear a voice in the back of your head, a bubbly woman's voice. We need to cook until the cooking's done.
Oh, my
The
right.
cooking's not done yet, so I need your help.
No.
What
Oh
would
God!
you-
It wants you to do the cooking by the
Get out of
book.
here, ghost of Paula Deen.
Borky feels this urge to use cream frige. It shakes through his body.
Oh my god, a chef hat's growing out of the back of his head like a mushroom growing out of an ant.
And Borky yeets that fucking book as far as he can.
All right, you throw the book, and as you do, Doros, who's struggling to get on his hands, he grabs the wedding axe, and he just takes it and he chops the book in half as you kind of throw it like a baseball pitch. Doros just hits it like a bat, and it gets sliced in two. And as it does, the wedding cake too gets sliced in two. And you watch as it does, it begins to melt, and all the people consumed by the cake kind of roll out, covered in icing and cake. And the wedding cake was also vanilla
It was. Okay, good. I was curious
Yeah.
about that.
with buttercream icing. And you watch as everyone kind of rolls out, and everyone's like, oh. As you guys clean up, and the wedding space is cleaned up by everybody, the Knolls begin to just eat everything off the floor. It very quickly is clean. Taurus is just like overstimulated, like a child in a toy store, and has eaten so much he looks kind of sick. But he's very content. Doros walks over and arrests the Gobbo Gourmet
He's
for
missing
the
it.
second time.
I want. He can't. He's missing an arm. He's missing an eye now. But I. Oh, never mind. Oh, I can't see.
I will get you again. What are your names?
The Unexpectables. Here's our address. Borky slaps.
I will have my revenge.
Borky just cleans up his head. Oh, I think that's the last we've seen of him.
Doros, may I heal him?
Doros looks at you and goes, like, shakes his head, like, no.
Oh, all right. Well, then I lean down to him. You can go ahead and try. And I cast Dissonant Whispers.
Okay.
Oh!
As Doros takes him away, you just hear Gobbo Gourmet go, "Ah!" like screaming over and over and over again. As slowly the wedding comes to a close. The bride and the groom, taken in strides, they actually come out of the cake laughing, hugging each other. They seem to find it very fun. The rest of the Knolls are just like, they think it's kind of part of the show. And like, Zerth kind of walks over to you, Greco, and goes, the one known as Einford said that you were entertaining. I say that this was exciting. How on earth did you plan such a thing?
Lots of careful planning.
Roll a deception check. With advantage, I'll say.
I'm kind of good at deceiving, so that's a net 20.
Natural 20.
Oh, never mind.
You could say it was unexpected.
Yeah, I'll drop that. I'll drop that line.
You could say it was unexpected.
I hear that you own a tavern. I will tell my brethren about it. Perhaps they will visit if you are even half as entertaining there as you were here. It's worth the time.
We also
I am
have...
Zerth, matriarch of the Ripjaw clan, member of the council. You have earned my favor this day.
Great Zerth, I look forward to you and your kin's presence. We have the hardest alcohol in the lower district.
I will be a test of that. Good day. And she kind of steps out along with the rest of the party.
Greckles cracks his talon knuckles, looks around, looks to panic.
Panic, is that cat phone ringing?
Is it?
Because I fucking called it!
And he just struts. He just struts out the room.
He dabs. He dabs out.
Dabs. Ninja dab eat out.
As you dab out, Greckles, you walk 2 steps. You walk 2 steps and poof, you hit someone. You run into someone.
Ugh.
And
Look up.
you see Edward and Robso.
Oh,
Hello.
gentlemen.
Huh?
Excuse me. Sorry, I'm a little surprised to see you.
I do hope I'm not interrupting anything. I heard a bit of a commotion and came to investigate.
Greckles looks around the pastry strewn blood and guts of the
Taurus looks like he's like fucking vibrating like he's on a like one of those fucking massage chairs on high.
Like Fry on his 99th cup of coffee.
Yeah.
There we go.
Hey, Monty, remind me again. This is the dignitary, right?
Edward and Robzo is the dignitary of the Nerazman Collective. He
Right.
is,
Okay. Just
Yeah, he's in charge of the magic shit. You know he's a big deal. This guy is famous.
Is he still Brock eyeing?
Oh yeah, you can't see his eyes. No, you can't see his eyes.
You could say that a merriment of festivities were had.
If it's food related, I assume that it was the Gobbo Gourmet. We arrested him last year for a Jello misadventure. He swore that he would repent for his actions, but I see that, well, he didn't.
No, he did not.
Do we all see this?
You see Edward? Yeah, you all see Edward.
Do we hear it?
Yeah, you see him. He's right there.
like it's a normal conversation.
They're
I'm
just
not-
Yeah,
talking
he's
in like
standing-
the hall. Everybody hears.
He's standing. Yeah, he's standing in the hall that you guys have been standing. He just came around the
Yep.
corner as Greckles was leaving, so they just
Oh.
ran into each other. Yeah.
Jello incident. Do you mean that gelatinous cube incident I heard of?
Yes, that was caused by.
Oh
the
my
Gobbo.
god. Why did he get out of prison?
Well, the racial inclusion program allowed for review. So.
Oh no.
We gotta do something about all these green-skinned ones walking around causing a ruckus.
Slow turn.
Slow turn of the camera.
Slow turn.
I hate to impose if you're not busy. I would like to discuss something with you.
Certainly. Everything just wrapped up here, so I believe we all have some free time.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think this
excellent.
signifies the end of the wedding.
It seems like it went out with a bang.
Oh, by the way, Tass like pats Remy on the arm and heals him.
Oh,
You took damage, man.
yep. Appreciate it. What do I heal?
Let me go ahead and do that. And self 7 HP.
All right.
Nice. How have you all been faring? I should ask that first. It was quite the harsh winter.
Oh, we were all mostly just kind of held up inside. I mean, there's nowhere to go, not too much to see, but we made good use of our time.
Mm.
Been better.
I did a lot
Um,
of push-ups.
A lot
I
of
can
research.
tell. That's very good as a man of the studies. I do appreciate good research. Grimtongue, Mr. Grimtongue, if I may. By any chance, have
Yes,
you
sir.
spoken to my son recently?
No.
Uh-oh.
Oh. Merely curious. He has not sent me a letter for quite some time. Good reasoning, but at the very least, I thought perhaps some sort of Winterfest letter of some kind would have been nice, but it kind of shrugs. Anyway, if you wouldn't mind following me, I'm going to take you to the Nerazman Collective. I believe we should discuss there. And Edward kind of turns out the room. And as he turns, I want everybody to roll a perception check.
Oh boy.
That is a 15.
16.
Please. 13.
15.
15.
15. Okay. I don't see your roll, Bosco.
It's
Oh,
there. It's
10. It's there, it's a 10.
Sight. Right.
yeah.
So Panic, Borky, Remy, and Greckles. Unfortunately, Task, you do not see this. Edward's shadow is not his shape. It is moving on its own, and it does not look anything like him.
Intelligence check to see if it's our boy.
Roll actually knowledge arcana.
I was just gonna say, can I roll knowledge arcana with advantage because I saw this before?
Yes, you may.
That's an 11.
Wahoo!
13.
Okay.
That's a 15.
3. That looks like him.
Please.
Remy and Panic. Yes. You both know, and Remy, you especially, your save for this is not very high. That Edward has made dealings with shadow demons. You know that he is a warlock of the Shadow Realm.
Okay, good to know.
And that's probably his patron, potentially kind of following him around a little bit. You know that Edward's not violent. He's not like gonna just suddenly kill you guys. Like, he's very chill, but he's very mysterious, and a lot of people kind of mistrust him because of it. But as you kind of stare into the void face of shadow of a creature beyond your realm, it does kind of send a little bit of a chill down your back.
Remy's going to adjust his cloaks and stuff and then follow him and not say a damn word.
Edward kind of pulls his jacket close. He's wearing kind of like a black leather sort of like overcoat with a bit of a fur hem, and he's just kind of like, oof, a little bit cold, eh?
Indeed.
Follow me. The Nerazman Collective is this way.
Are we all covered in cake still?
You've been cleaned up.
I'm
mean-
prestidigitating myself if I
Yeah.
can.
Can
Just
you-
get it off?
I guess we're going here. So, like, what's he want to do? Is he getting married now? Well, what's
Do that
happening?
for. Would you mind doing that for Tar so the frosty doesn't like stick to his face when we go outside?
Yes,
Okay,
sure.
Remy, you clean up Taurus, and as you take away the icing on his face, he's like, "Arr!" Like, I was gonna save that for later. Come on.
You've had enough.
There, that should do it. He should be fine.
All right,
Your magic's
bundle.
gotten better.
Pardon?
Your magic, all of you. Your magic's gotten much better.
Well, I would assume I can't speak for them, but a lot of time in the winter to kill.
I have been spending time with a fellow of ours at the bar who comes from the desert, who has some dealings with the wild magic.
How's Louis Strong doing?
Same as he ever was.
Yeah.
Same as he ever was.
Not much to say.
He's rather interesting, isn't he?
Yes.
I guess
As-
interesting is a word for it.
As far as a man who spends most of his day standing around is interesting.
Edward kind of smiles and keeps walking.
I imagine.
Insight.
I imagine.
Yeah,
the
go
shadow,
ahead.
I'm imagining the shadow just keeps doing that
15.
thing from like the vampire episode of the Halloween Horror Simpsons episode, like just doing it.
Greckles, he knows that you know what Louis Strog is.
Okay. He
Mhm.
knows that I know that he knows that I know.
Yeah. Also, I
Oh.
want everybody to roll perception checks again.
Oh, come on,
boy.
please.
But
Is
now
this shadow? Is this shadow doing the?
12.
18.
17.
Shadow's
The guy who has a fucking +7 in perception.
20.
Yeah, I feel your pain.
His shadow's doing the got him gesture.
Jeez. Everybody except for Greckles and Task,
Boo.
you notice that your shadows now aren't your shadows anymore.
Knowledge Arcana to know if that's normal
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
when you hang out with people like this. It's a 17.
He attracts them naturally. I mean,
Oh,
he has their leader near them. You guys aren't in any danger, but they're kind of playing with your shadows a bit for fun.
It's uneasy, and I assume there's no polite way to block that.
Panic says, "Whoa, hey, I got enough problems with this shit."
Oh, apologies. They're merely playing and observing. Just making sure that you guys don't try anything funny when you go up to the Nerazman Collective. They're like bodyguards for me, I suppose.
I think mine's braiding my hair.
You watch as the demon is, and the shadow demon is like playing with your hair, and your hair doesn't actually move, but it's kind of weirdly like making you kind of.
It's a phantom braid.
I think this one's salting my leg.
I think mine is. Hey, you put that away. That is not for public.
Oh.
You follow Edward, and he makes his way up to one of the walls leading into the higher districts. And as you walk with him, you guys kind of walk around the wall as you do, the snow kind of blinding and whipping. And as you walk by, you see that new crystal attached. Well, it wasn't new, but it was built over, attached to the attic. And Edward kind of looks and goes, "It's quite beautiful, isn't it now?"
Pretty stunning.
Can't for the life of me understand why it went back to the way it was. It's rather strange to me.
Insight. I don't trust this guy anymore.
Okay. Yeah, you have no idea.
Oh, insight
Seems to be
too.
Pointing it out.
3. Yeah.
I missed what he said. What did he say?
23.
Says quite a sight.
Oh.
He's
Yeah, I
kind
guess
of
that's worthy of it. 14.
Get the sense he's kind of trying to coax something out of you guys. Like he's legitimately curious, but you don't know his intentions. Oh. Anyway, the Nerazman Collective's this way. Follow me. Mind your step. And you follow him to this massive tower. It's huge. It's almost like a monolithic tower, and it's attached to the wall, almost like Abacus's tower, but way more extravagant. You have seen this in your travels, kind of in and out of the city and various different places. It does kind of stand out, but there's many other things that kind of stand out in Alavas. It's kind of, you don't really focus in on it. And as he steps up to the front door, the doors just fly open. They just swing open. You enter in kind of almost like there's almost an office-like busyness to the place. You see various different apprentices kind of rushing items this way and that, boxes of things. There are familiars flying about with letters in their hands. And as Edward kind of enters, a couple of the workers kind of give him a bit of space, give him a bit of room. They're like, "Oh, hey, Edward." And he's just like, "Hello. Up the stairs this way, please. We're going to the private collection." And he kind of begins to walk slowly up the stairs.
I'm very uncomfortable with this.
Okay.
Remy's just gonna march behind him because he knows who this guy is.
Yeah, you do know who this guy is. Let me find appropriate music.
I'm
for
keeping
this.
Tarisk near me.
Yeah, you keep Tarisk. A few people actually notice Tarisk, and like one person who you can tell is kind of a dragon nut. Like they have like a dragon necklace and like a dragon like cape, and like they have a bunch of dragon books. They're like, and drop all the books by the time you make it up the stairs. Their excitement kind of cuts short as you kind of turn away. Let's
So a
find-
dragon weeb.
Mhm. Let's
If he
find-
walked up to Tarisk, I would just pull my short sword out and just take it outside.
Okay. You guys make your way up the stairs. They're velvet stairs. It's quite nice. There's a bit of lavishness to the place, almost kind of mystifying sort of look to it, given the magical nature. You see ion lights kind of dazzling around the ceiling, gorgeous brass banisters, various people sitting at giant, large oak decks. shelves upon shelves of books of various different magical degrees. There's also like a little shop that appears to sell like components, items for potions, things like that. And Edward kind of stops and goes, these are the study quarters. This is where most of our high-end mages kind of do their work and their studies. And then that there, we sell components. We sell components that aren't usually sold in most magic shops. Things that you need permission to essentially get.
Interesting.
Once again, I do have to remind you, Kobold, that you are in company, and your shadow beneath you, Task, kind of flickers around a little bit.
Through the proper means, of course.
I assume of nothing less. This way, my private chambers are this way. And he kind of strides up. As you do, people kind of make way, and as the higher up you go in this tower, the more scarce people get. But the people you begin to see look like exceptionally talented wizards. You see people with eyes of arcane. One person kind of rolling a coin over their hand, and as they turn their head, you see just a spark of lightning come from them. Roll a knowledge arcana for those of you who want to.
Sure, why not?
That's a 16.
No, 8.
Okay.
6.
Okay. Greckles, you've actually heard of these before. You've seen one actually once in the Eastern Isles in your travels. That's a storm sorcerer.
Oh,
They are-
good.
Yeah, they are very interesting. They get their power from the elements, so to speak. They are imbued with the elements. And as they kind of turn, you just notice there's just kind of static, like kind of spitting around them as they kind of turn back to their book and their tea. Eventually, Edward leads you up the stairs, all the way up to a large set of almost red-stained oak doors with curtains on either side and vases decorating the hall. And as you guys walk up, the floorboards beneath you kind of creak. Doesn't appear this place is very often used. There is no divide to the door. There's no lock. It's just a solid piece of wood almost set in a frame. And you watch as all the shadows kind of congeal together, all of your guys' shadows and his, and they kind of glide up the door and then just make a slit between and open the door before you.
Hey.
Come on in, don't be shy.
All
I mean, we'll walk in.
Walk in.
You see a hallway with various pieces of art. It almost seems like the underbelly a little bit with how tight the hallway is and the art on either side, but definitely smells a lot better. Not exactly the same thing. Eventually, Edward kind of tosses back a curtain and leads you into this large, almost like a library with no shelves. It is a museum of sorts with various plinths and glass cases on top as you see many magical artifacts sitting in these glass cases. And you walk by, you see a large warhammer with a
Ooh.
giant gemstone on one end.
Borky licks
And as
his,
you walk,
Borky licks his lips looking at it. Mm.
as you look at it, the warhammer looks back. The gemstone is an eye, and it's an eye you recognize. It's still Havity's eye.
Oh.
It has gnollish embellishments, some of which you recognize from the wedding you were just at. It appears to have belonged to a gnoll at some point. You walk by and you see various other things. And you also see in a glass case, a very large glass case, and panic as you walk by, you recognize this. A set of various different soul stones with one giant one in the center. And you know that's Dolmar.
Ho, 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 ho!
Can we refresh the people at home who Dolmar was?
You guys can
Dolmar.
refresh the people of
It's
Dolmar.
Gargoyle Ultron from season 1.
It's true.
Yeah.
It was a very crazy scientist who's like, fine, I'll do it live, and shoved his living soul inside a giant construct, which then
Well, he was-
statue. Yeah.
He
statue
was
of
he was also researching putting souls into other statues, and
yeah,
every statue in town came to life and ran amok.
yeah,
I shot him in the back of the throat when he was evil monologuing.
it's true.
You did. You watch as you walk by, Panic. You can even see the giant soul crystal kind of flickering in anger as it sees you.
Panic grins. How's that chest wound, buddy?
Edward kind of stops and goes, "Oh yes, Tim. We're giving him some time to simmer, and then let's see. We're having a bit of trouble, though. One of his creations is still, well, not been noted down as captured based off of the amount of soul gems that he had. So if you happen to run into any sort of living statue, please do inform the Nerazmin Collective. We would be most appreciative. But that is not why I have brought you. Would you like tea?
Very well.
Sure.
Sure. There's some seats over here, and you watch as just a bunch of seats kind of appear out of nowhere. They just poof into existence.
Jesus Christ. Jeez
Magic.
Louise.
And you watch as he kind of twirls his hand, and you watch as like teapots and kettles just begin to boil in the air. And he kind of sits down. He goes, please sit.
Okay.
All right, do so.
Okay.
This is not a wedding after party I was expecting, but okay.
The chairs are exceptionally comfortable. They're really comfy. They're velvet as well. They're green velvet this time with kind of a really nice sort of oaken trim to them. You guys all sit down, and immediately you're handed a steaming cup of tea. And Edward also kind of sits down, and as he does, his shadow just kind of disappears. And he goes, "Yep, go ahead."
I was just gonna say when offered tea, with all due respect, I'm actually okay, Edward.
No, I insist. Please sit down.
Well, no, with the tea.
Oh,
He
with
would
the tea?
sit,
Oh,
but
okay.
With the tea. With the tea.
Oh, I thought you meant sit. Yeah,
Bork-
you
Bork-
sit down.
No, he sits down, but just no tea.
Borky says no as well. Sorry, I'm good. I filled up on cake. Thank you, though.
That's fair, actually. The tea just disappears.
Tea.
Well, now that I have you here, the first matter to attend to, and he kind of looks to you, Remy, is that this meeting never happened.
What meeting?
The meeting we're having now.
Oh. What?
As you know, our relationship with Periton isn't quite good. You would know a lot about that, wouldn't you? And he sips his tea and stares to the four of you.
I sip my tea.
Do you actually sip your tea?
No. That's an old joke. Sorry.
Oh, okay. He sips his tea. As I'm sure you're aware, Viantius Apostrophe, Ragus Cade, and the other members of the United Clergy of Orin don't particularly like us.
I couldn't imagine why.
Oh yeah. Well, we don't particularly like them.
Neither do I. And you watch as his shadow flickers again.
Ooh, are we gonna go kill him?
No, we're not.
Damn.
But
Damn it.
we are a bit concerned. I am powerful, true, but they have the numbers. They have an entire country behind them. We are a singular city. There's going to be a meeting about where your good friend Soliandrus is going to go. And I know no matter what the council decides, Brooke Bronzefang will not hand her over.
As he shouldn't, and as I believe that she should choose wherever she wants to go, and I firmly believe that it's going to be here.
Mm.
Yeah.
So,
Pretty sure if she goes back to the United Orin Clergy, they're going to
Kill her.
brainwash or kill her.
Yeah, they are well-known dicks.
So that being said, we need more allies. We have the dragons as of current who are protecting the city. But beyond that, we have some financial support from Numeria. We do have the Knolls, who I assume you got the company of. But our numbers are tiny. We do not size up compared to an entire nation. So I need your help.
I'm listening.
Yeah, okay.
Well, actually, he puts down his tea. Specifically, I need his help. And he points to you, Borky.
I mean, I could fight like 5 guys, but the whole country might take me a bit.
There are 4 orc tribes on Alavast. One of them is mutual with us. The rest of them are not. We would ask for you, an orc, to go forth and by diplomacy or by violence, have them join our side. If you cannot convince these orcs to join us, we ask that you challenge their chieftains, defeat them, and then bring them to Alavast.
Would they function well in Alavast should that take place?
Merely, we would just need someone to speak for them. They would sure to be send someone. They do have messengers. The Ironclaw clan and the anthropologists who studied them told us enough about their actual means of communication. I think it's possible. Additionally, if they don't think that Paraton will stop with us, they'd be dead wrong.
Maybe that would be all it would take.
No. Orcs are fickle, and it takes a strong hand sometimes to convince them.
Borky is sitting there, Gendo Wakari posing right now.
Do you want to explain what that is?
It's where you put your elbows on a table and you have your hands clasped together in kind of like a little table. He's resting his face. He's resting his forehead down. He hasn't said a thing. Borky looks up at Edward and just says, "I'll do it."
Good. That makes that easy. In exchange, I want to give you a very important tool that will help you to achieve this. Now, between all of us here, you've purchased this item from me, from my collection, and I've approved its selling. Borky, you wouldn't mind standing up, please?
Borky stands up. Okay.
The item that will help you achieve this goal lies behind this door, and you watch as a door opens up.
Was Borky, I guess, gets up and goes to the door and looks inside.
Okay. It's a hallway. And Edward kind of stands up and turns to you, Borky, and goes, "Do try to be convincing."
What?
Wait, Edward, we're just letting him going in alone?
Yeah, I think that's for the best.
So Borky starts walking at it. Be convincing, what do you mean?
Boom! The door is closed.
Oh no! Borky just kind of puts his fist to his mouth. Oh god, what do I do? Oh god. Oh, Borky pulls out Grippos. Grippos, what do I do?
Silence.
Oh no. Borky puts it.
You are truly alone.
Borky walks down the hallway. Hello?
You walk, and there's another smaller door before you.
Borky just kind of has his fist beside him, doing like a little, oh gee. Borky opens it up, not expecting this.
And you see, resting against the wall in this tiny, almost walk-in closet-sized room, this.
Oh, art.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Sick.
Whoa. Ah, yes, the sword.
Something about this sword is familiar,
Oh.
Borky, as you walk towards it.
Wow. Can I ask a simple question? It's not. Does it look like it's made out of the same material as the blade that turned into the Barchoba?
No, it does not.
Ooh. It looks.
It looks newly polished. It looks almost like a restored blade.
Is this Ronfalt's sword?
Yes.
Oh.
This is the giant's sword. This is Ronfalt's sword.
Oh.
Borky realizes that it's Ronfalt's sword. Oh shit. Borky, is there also a helmet beside there too?
That's for scale.
Oh, it's a ghost helmet. Borky is hanging. It's just leaning there against it.
Yeah, just leaning against the wall.
Borky stands right in front of it, plants his feet, and grips it with both hands.
Okay. As you do, you breathe in, and air kind of begins to wheeze around you, and you hear a voice deep in your mind in giant say, "I remember you." And that is where we will end the session for tonight.
Oh, shit.